I'm evil. Papers. Show me your papers. What do all of you think that you're doing here? I must see identification. What are we reading? It's in the title, mate. A bit of trucker stories. It's been asked for quite some time. I got my CDL 6 weeks ago, and I'm at a rest stop in Louisiana listening to these. Love this live streams. Nice. This is perfect. Hey, you know, truckers, they gotta keep themselves entertained, be on the road all the time. Alex J, welcome back for 3 whole months in the Buttersock cult. Hey Joel, love your narration. Stay awesome. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. Bonus content is out, my friends. Be sure to join if you haven't heard it yet, but there's probably like 6 exclusive videos over there. Pretty baller. Y'all better like this stream. Yes. If you could like the stream, that would be preferable. Share this out wherever you can. Post it at one of your school bulletin boards. It needs to be heard. How many stories? We got 10 stories tonight. 10 trucker related stories. A few of them are true crime, as you can imagine. As you can imagine. Can you post a photo of Pradeep? I could, yeah. There's someone on Twitter. If you go back a little ways, not even that far to be honest, but yeah, I can post one tomorrow if I remember. Am I doing okay today? Yeah, I'm doing good. My only issue is that I've been having a little bit of sciatic pain, which is like a bundle of nerves that like comes off your lower back and goes through usually down one of your legs, more commonly your left leg. And sometimes it runs through some really tight muscles like into your gluteus and, you know, your butt, and then what's called like a piriformis muscle. And sometimes those can get really tight from lifting weights and stuff. And it's not that I'm having like that sort of shocking sensation. It's just more of like a dull sensation there. And I'm starting to find some like stretches that really help with that, but it's just annoying to think that that's like just gonna be like a reality for me probably forever. Jacob with the 5, with the first donor of the night. Joel, I know you said last stream that you, Maribel, and I are in charge, but I feel like everyone should be in the Buttersock Call Council. Really, Jacob? Do you think so? What do you guys think? Should the Buttersock Council just be kind of like an open door policy? Anybody who wants to be in charge just come in at any time and just throw their big wang around and bark orders and do whatever they want? Just utter complete anarchy? What do you guys think? Joe, you gonna be good for Daddy's home push-ups tonight with that boo-boo back? No, yeah, I mean, it's not the, like, right now, it's not even, like, painful. It's just that I know that this dull sensation that I have in the gluteal area, there were some stretches I did before that used to kind of like alleviate it, I guess. And now it just seems like they don't really. So I'm trying to find other ones that, like, there's this one I saw was like sciatic flossing. I've been doing that. That helped for a little while today, but it just seems to kind of like come back, and I don't know, maybe it's just sort of like inflammation from working out and that it will chill out over time in that area, but I'm not really sure. I have sciatica and go to the chiropractor twice a month, a deep massage like every other month, and I gotta tell you, it's a huge relief. Yeah, I do actually have, believe it or not, a chiropractic appointment tomorrow, but I'm kind of wondering if it like almost stemmed from that, you know what I mean, as like to kick that off, you know what I mean, because I started that more recently. I'm almost wondering if it like sort of activated something, or if it's just like my bed. I don't even fucking know. What kind of bed, if you have sciatica, what kind of bed do you use? Do you feel that more firm mattresses give you that increased pain when you wake up, or do you have like a more cushy situation? Everybody's got to get in line for gluteus massages. Hyper Scream with a 5. Thank you, Hyper Scream. Do you know how many of Lazy Masquerade videos you're featured on? I don't know, probably at least 2 or 3, I imagine, at this point. I'm not exactly sure which ones, though. It's been a while. Jacob with the 2 says, if they are loyal, they can. If not loyal, then no. All right, you heard the words, guys. You have to prove your loyalty, though. How will you do so? What about a cortisone shot? Would that help sciatica? Yeah, but you want to find, like, the cause, the root cause of your inflammation to that, like, area surrounding the nerve, you know what I mean? You don't want to go right in the same way that you don't want to go to like to pain pills, you know, or just medication right out the gate, just because those are only temporary solutions for something that has a root. Like if you could figure out the root cause, that would be much greater for you in the long term than getting, you know, reliant on something else that may have other side effects as well. You have a medium firm bev, seems like the best most days. Okay. Not all chiropractors fully put in what they need to. Some of them half-ass it to get more money. Yeah, it does kind of seem like that. Like, they just kind of like get you in and out, and you just wonder if they even give a shit at all. Sydney, what's poppin'? You haven't done a collab with Dark Somnium Tosha? Yeah, I love Dark Somnium. He's Ronnie. He's the best. And he's doing really well. His videos and stuff are doing really well. Can we talk about hoes? What about hoes? That's a very offensive word in my mind, because I also am a hoe. I like to be used as a garden tool. Cecil with the 10 says, for the safety of the group, I shall reorganize the Buttersock cult in the first Buttersock Empire and take control as Emperor. Oh my god. For our safety. Hey guys, for your safety, I'm gonna have to legally be in charge of you. Also, you're under arrest. It's for your safety. Just what I need tonight, and just for the love of everything, do not get a sleep number if you have sciatica, especially. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I wonder what... Do you think like just a mattress that's like too firm almost like can amplify that or something? Would you almost be better sleeping on the floor? Elect hose. The hose elect. That hoe in the garden. That's my grandma. Don't tell her I said that. Jacob with the 2 says, Joel, I'm proud to be in the council with you. You should be. As should all 177 people here as well. You have been chosen. Elected, really. When am I going to start reading again? In 13 minutes and 11 seconds, my friend. Usually what we do before the video starts is just kind of chill and let people roll in. But thanks for being here. Click that likey like button. Hot Pocket is drunk. Perfect. It's your birthday. Perhaps a shout out. Hope all is well. Happy birthday, Patrick. Everybody say happy birthday to Patrick. Hope you're having a good one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the government anymore. I've kind of arrived at this position where I just like, I have no say in anything, you know what I mean? I realize that I can bitch and research and look into it all I want about anything, but all you're really doing most of the time is just screaming into the void. I feel like people need to get involved in like local government. I feel like that's where you're gonna have your most, like if you're really into politics, that's where you should go. Local government, and just make a difference in your communities rather than trying to like think so large, you know? Just because I don't really think you gotta start somewhere. Internet Grandma with the 7 Canadians is coming in hot with the fresh cookies. Hope everyone's having a great night. Grandma already heard Papa Joel. Oh my god. Thank you for the cookies. I've been very strong. I've been very strong holding off on snacky snacks for the past couple days. And I've actually been trying to just eat between the hours of 12 and 8. Is it making much of a difference? Not really, but hopefully eventually. You just gotta trust the process. Are you near the JD trial? No, I don't know what that is. Apologize, but always happy to hear. So glad I finally caught a stream. I love you and your storytelling. You're legit the best on YouTube. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, my friend. I try my best. I really, really do. What's my favorite kind of cookie? Not to trigger you. I have to end the stream and go eat sugary treats now. Oh man. Definitely. Oh yeah, for sure something with like peanut butter. Like ones with. My mom used to make these. My mommy used to make these ones that had like peanut butter cups in the center for Christmas. Yo, those were very nostalgic, or as they say, a vibe. They were very much a. What happened to Corpse Husband? You outshine him or something? No, I mean, Corpse Husband's fucking blown up. I feel like, how have you not heard of him? He's a big music star now, and he's got like 6 trillion subscribers, and he's gonna be in an anime. And he's coming over later to play Super Smash Brothers. You and B-Buster are the only reason I can fall asleep at night. Thank you so much. You're welcome, my friend. Sleep is very important. Me trying to switch my like sleep schedule back to normal has been tough because, you know, usually the second day after I kind of like start that, I only sleep like 3 hours and can't fall back asleep. And then like, but I did take a nap yesterday for another 2, and I did feel really good after a 2-hour nap. That was pretty sweet. Is Pradeep chilling with us? He is not here. He's probably up in his little nook somewhere. Amber Turd. Yeah, I love that nickname. It's so funny. I haven't really followed the Johnny Depp thing, but you guys like brought it up, so I looked up some like highlights, and there was a lot of like really funny memes. Like her lawyer was interviewing somebody, and their lawyer just sounded so unprofessional. It was really fucking weird. It's actually really weird sometimes watching like court cases that are like high profile, and you see like how their lawyers act and how everyone is, and you're like, what the fuck is this? It's like, I get like sometimes they treat it like theater a little bit, but God, maybe they should go to acting school instead of law school. That's attempt number 1 on Ornstein and Smoth. What's that? Love having your content listened to, and awesome followers from all walks. I know there's a lot of great people from all over that join, you know, all over the world, all different kinds of people. You and Dark Somnium are my top 2 storytellers. Thank you. Yeah, Dark Somnium's great. I mean, he really just like, especially with like his production value on a lot of stuff, he's a really, really good sound engineer. And I swear to God, he is an insane musical artist. If you've not listened to Dark Somnium's like music, like, I don't know, I get lost in his music. It's so good. It's like, it reminds me of like really, really high quality like indie video game music, you know, not in like the sense of like synth stuff, but just, I don't know, one of those like more emotional indie games, but like with just like a really fantastic score. He's really talented. There are bosses in Dark Souls 1. You're kidding me. What should you make for dinner? Probably some lemon zesty chicken with some real good spices. Maybe even some shake and bake. Much love from Colorado. Hello, Michelle Bell. How are you? Thank you for the 5. Court cases is where you see the best acting. Yeah, not really. Your daily dose of serotonin. It's kind of like that channel. Your daily dose of internet. Hey everyone, today we're taking a look at a hippo. As you can see, this hippo's penis isn't as big as you would expect it to be. Usually hippos, and that's pretty much it because they don't really say more than like one line. Corey Burger with the 5 says, if you want good cookies, check out Burger Cookies. Is that yours, Corey? Do you make cookies and sells them? Where can we find these legendary cookies? That sounds bomb. I'm starving. Yeah. Drink ASMR. Could you hear me drinking? That wasn't supposed to happen. Geeky Tingy, what's crappin'? Brat with the 2. You make my workday so much better. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh shit, this beat's dope. You guys hear this? What is this? This is Dry Beats by Loam, Loam. Dude, I fucking love. I think for like 1 million subs, maybe I should do a rap track. A hip hop rhyming musical number. You're simply to best. I feel like you and the casual criminalist could make a very good collab. I've never heard of them, to be honest with you. There's all these like random true crime channels that just like blow up out of nowhere. Daily Dose got famous using other people's clips. Yeah, that how it be though on the YouTube. Sometimes you gotta piggyback off of someone else. Dark Psalm dude is his journey recorded in his room, slept in his car. Yeah, no, for real. Mad respect on that. Yeah. I mean, Dark Somnium's been through some shit. You should make a jiggle for 1 million. Yo, I make a jiggle every stream though. Fucking twerk that Shaz. How y'all doing today? We're doing good. I'm feeling good. The country is yet to collapse. We're living in the good times right now. We better just smile as much as we can. Spend all day doing schoolwork and baking butter tarts at my job. It's nice to finally lay in bed, relax, listen to this live. Well, welcome back. Welcome to the realm of the sleepy. Corey with the 2 says burgercookies.com, made in Baltimore. Oh, nice. I assume you do shipping and all that good stuff? I'd be too afraid to go into Baltimore to get them. I don't want to end up falling in the harbor. Hopefully you make crab flavored because it's Maryland. Crab cookies. Oh my god, can you imagine? Oh, that'd be interesting actually. Imagine making a cookie. This is an idea. This is gonna be your $1 million Maryland cookie, but a little cookie with just a little bit of Old Bay on the top. How you gotta try it. You gotta try it at this point. Hitsubasa with the 5 says, I discovered Guga Foods, and man, some of the ways he cooks meat is insane. You should check it out, Joel. If you like steaks, it's crazy. Is that the guy that does like the salt sprinkle meme? Or hello, my beautiful wives. I am home from a long day of working in the mines. If the casserole is burnt, so God help me. Only if you burnt the casserole, I will slam you through a wall. Man, you guys are having a fight in chat. Please. Be nice for the kids. Burger cookie sprinkled with Old Bay is delicious. Yo, I'm telling you, dude, that's the next move right there. I feel like that's like the what was that one show where the guy would go around and like just literally troll people and tell them like bad ideas for their businesses? I forget what that show was. Oh, Nathan For You. Did you guys ever watch Nathan For You? Dude, I swear to God, there was this one episode where he convinced, I forget who, but they made like poop flavored stuff. He convinced them to make poop flavored food. And like everyone came in and just like would immediately like gag. It was like so fucking funny. He's like a master troll. I think there was only one episode in that entire thing where he like breaks character, and I forget what it was, but the guy just like was so ridiculous that he just couldn't help but fucking laugh, like he thought he was being trolled. Believes in unicorns with the 5 says Simon has like 15 other channels than the casual criminalist law. Good evening, Joel. Oh, interesting. That's a lot of Is he just like putting in endless work or something like that, or just like spreading himself out as far as possible to see how he does? I just watched a video where he made steaks with compound butters made from fast food. Interesting. Some people are too good at cooking. Letty with the 3 says, thanks for reading. Well, yeah, thank you, Letty. It's good to see you. We're going to be kicking this off here in another minute or so. Jacob who says, no fighting in the Butterscotch Cult Council. This is true. Jacob, good point. Like, if all of us are in the council, we're family. When you're in the cult council, you're family.
Hey, listen.
Can we eat your casserole when it's born? When it's born? After you shit it out. Poop flavored ice cream. Hey, I remember that one. That one and the one where he tries to infiltrate Best Buy. I can't. Yeah, it's just he's a mastermind, a genius. And like there was, I don't even know what the fuck it was, but he was on like Conan O'Brien one time, and he showed like a picture that got like banned or something off Instagram. He's like, I didn't understand. It was a nice picture, and he like took a selfie of himself with wearing sunglasses, and like in the selfie you can see like porn on his computer or in his glasses reflection. It's pretty funny. A pint of wine. 1 pint. That sax is too much right now. Well, don't even worry about it because we're switching over to our spooky screen. Just cuts out and immediately goes. That's like a jump scare almost. Sir, do you like DBZ Super? Yeah, I love Dragon Ball Z. It was my like go-to show as a wee lad, and I'm very happy that it's still going on. You like the sax? Yeah, I love saxophone. I love jazz. Like anything jazz is. Do you like jazz, Dave? Do you like jazz? D's. What's D's? Alright, friendos. And Cat's Alley Art Studio, welcome back to being a mischievous frog for 2 months. Says hi all. Been here for 2 months, so happy to be here and finally make it into the call. Hail Joe. Yeah, can you believe that? We held elections last time for very specific positions. And just like that, that's how good we are. We just give up power. You don't often come across people who just hand power out freely to the people. But I think that's how it should be done. What am I drinking? I'm drinking some chai tea. Also, earlier I was making tea, and it was like dark, and I was kind of going through the motions in the kitchen with the light off. And I accidentally forgot to put the fucking teacup underneath the Keurig. And so like when I came out, it was just like making tea, but like pouring it onto the fucking ground. It was pretty funny. But also, I think I have old timers. I love instrumentals, but I don't have to hear what? Have my head if you're gutter. Are you speaking languages? Are you on? Is that why the sax is scaring you because you're high right now? Bruh, this chat. Yo, bruh. Did Grandma just say bruh? Dude. Grandma's pretty cool. We did that with your espressos. That's funny. All right, my friends. Like I said, we got 10 trucker stories. Thanks again for being here tonight. Click that like button. Share this out. That would be awesome. And yeah, get comfy. Get your popcorn. Who is in Scotland? I don't know. Who is in Scotland? That sounds ominous. Who is in Scotland? Can you make more ghost stories? Potentially. Maybe for the next members-only content. Is chai sweet? It's a little sweet, but it's definitely better than the other Keurig teacup bullshit. Alright. She's a cool grandma who says, bruh. I gotta zoom in. My eyes aren't what they used to be. Actually, let me check and make sure that this is clear. Make sure my mic, yeah, it's all clear. All clear. No zombies in that mic. OnlyFans when? You just gotta go find it. I just want to start off by saying what a huge fan of your channel I am. I drive trucks for a living, and most of my journeys are long haul, which means I have plenty of time to just sit in my cab doing a whole lot of nothing. As you can probably guess, it gets really, really boring, and if it wasn't for all the videos you put out, I think I'd have gone straight up crazy by now. I don't really have a lot of free time whenever I'm home, so it's taken me way longer to write this than maybe it should, but there is I've been meaning, okay. 5 beers and counting, oh my god. What'd you miss? Nothing at all, we just started. Oh yeah, also I just activated the super thanks thing on this channel. I didn't even know I had that, but so that's active. Have you guys ever used the super thanks on like some other random YouTuber's channel at all? Is that even like a thing that people use? I don't really have a lot of free time whenever I'm home, so it's taken me way longer to write this than maybe it should. But I've been meaning to share something that happened to me with you for the longest time now, and I think it'd be awesome to hear one of my own experiences on one of your videos. So, a few years ago, I was cruising west at about 70 on the I-76 just outside of Denver, Colorado. It had been a pretty boring haul up until that point. I mean, Colorado was pretty and all, but the whole drive had been completely uneventful. The weather had been great, there had been nothing to slow me down, and I was starting to think the whole ride would carry on without a hitch. But then, out of nowhere, I see this huge, almost solid cloud of dirt coming over the horizon. It had to be at least 20 to 30 feet wide, completely covering the road ahead, and it was at least as tall as my truck's cab, so maybe 12 to 15 feet tall. At first, I had no idea what I was looking at. Could have been a vehicle fire or something, but then I couldn't see the smoke billowing from anywhere, and I couldn't see any car or truck either. Then I figured it might have been like a dust storm or something, but a dust storm that's only 30 feet wide? It couldn't be. I didn't have any way of dodging it, so I just slowed down, hit the washers, then just prayed that there wasn't any rocks getting whipped up that might smash my windshield. I'm an owner and operator too, so any damage, and it's my insurance, not some company's. Seconds later, wham! I hit it, and the noise in my cab was seriously loud. That's what set it apart from a regular dust storm. They just don't make that kind of noise. Then the second the thing is set apart from a what? Oh, I see. Then the second thing that set it apart. Then the second thing that set it apart from a dust storm was the mess it left on my windshield. Because as I hit the mass of it, whatever it was, everything that hit my windshield left a smear of what looked like some kind of juice on the glass. That's when I worked out what I was driving into. It was bees. All these freaking huge bees that seriously sounded like rocks when they were slamming into my cab. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. I mean, I'd seen giant swarms of locusts on the TV before. An awesome B-Day gif. Let's go. Yeah, I thought it was going to be locusts or something, but I guess it's bees. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. I mean, I'd seen giant swarms of locusts on TV before, but bees, I didn't think they even swarmed like that. Two things really creeping me out about the whole thing, and not so much all the bee guts on my windshield either, because I'm not a particularly squeamish person. The first thing was how, if I'd have just been walking at the side of the road, those things might have actually killed me. A couple of hundred bee stings could easily kill a person, so I've read anyway, and if they're aggressive when they're in that swarming state, that'd have been the end of me. But then the second thing, and the thing that stuck with me long after I passed through the swarm, was the idea that they'd been flying like that to avoid some epic natural disaster or something. And for the next few miles, I found myself getting really anxious, half expecting to feel an earthquake or see a meteor falling from the sky or something. Obviously, nothing like that happened, thank God, but the first chance I could, I looked up giant bee swarms on Google to see if they were actually a thing. Obviously they are, but ones that size are an extremely rare event. When I told another trucker about the whole thing recently, he told me I was lucky to see something like that, like it was some kind of natural wonder or something. But let me tell you, I didn't feel so lucky to be driving through it at the time. Okay. What state is Joel from? I am from Pennsylvania. Do. Okay. This is way too soothing. Thank you. Way back when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I remember talking to my dad about religion and God and stuff. At one point in the conversation, I have this really vivid memory of a question I asked and the answer he gave me. The question was something like, do angels really exist? And his answer was something along the lines of this. Before I was born, before Mom and him were even an item, my dad used to drive trucks for a living. And this is way back before labor laws were strict about brakes or mile limits, so Dad would sometimes take jobs that would require him to drive for maybe 24 or maybe 36 hours straight. So, this one particular night, after having already driven for a really long time, he noticed his eyelids getting heavier and heavier as he got sleepier and sleepier. Even worse, any attempt to wake himself up just didn't seem to be working. He chugged down the rest of his coffee, tried blasting himself with cold air from the AC, but nothing did the trick. He says he remembers passing mile marker 146, and since he had this straight stretch of road in front of him, he decided to rest his eyes and take a deep breath for maybe only 2 seconds tops. Then the next thing he knows, he feels his head do the nod jerk thing, which woke him up with a gasp. He opened his eyes to see that he was driving straight toward mile marker 158, which was right up against some ravine-type thing. If he had woken up a second later, he and his whole truck would have plummeted down the ravine, and he'd have surely been killed. But because he came to that at the exact... Because he came... Absolutely love Pennsylvania, one of the most beautiful states I've been to. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Got a lot of cornfields and greenery. We require the hawk. Where is the hawk? He's sleeping in his nest, incubating his eggs. Hawk eggs. But because he came to at the exact moment... That's my bad. But because he came to at that exact moment, he was able to safely correct. He says it's the difference between life and death. What the fuck is wrong with me? I can't read this sentence. But because he came to at the exact... Jesus fuck, man. But because he came to at that exact moment, he was able to safely course correct. He says it's the difference between life and death came... What is this sentence? He says the difference... He says... Okay, I think I meant to say if. He says if the difference between life and death came down to literally just this... Oh, I see, okay. Need a Joel Build-A-Bear with a voice box story. Yeah, that would be funny. Just pull the string with different sayings. Oh, I'm twerking. I'm twerking. I'm twerking. Los Barrachos with the 5s. Joel, I just want to announce the formation of the Buttersock cult. There are no leaders, just common folk who know how to have a good time. That's what I like to hear. It's just one wild ruckus. He says if the difference between life and death Struggling with this sentence. He says if the difference between life and death came down to literally just a second, or I actually... What the fuck, man? He says if the difference between life and death came down to literally just a second, or I actually wouldn't even exist right now. I see. I don't know. I feel like it was like an attempt to build a sentence, but it kept... He says if the difference between life and death came down to literally just a second... Yeah, okay. It's just like all these like extra words in there. He says if the difference between life and death came... And I can't like pronounce my fucking letters. He says if the difference between life and death came down to literally just a second, I actually wouldn't even exist right now. Once he stopped, he just pulled into the side of the road first chance he could and did the math on the whole thing. He said he must have slept through miles of driving down perfectly straight highway, doing anything between 50, only to wake up right at the moment he needed to in order to save his own skin. It was a really long-winded way of him saying that he didn't actually know if angels really existed, but he sure believed they did. Either that, or there was some kind of force in the universe that woke him up just as he reached mile marker 158, right at the exact split second that he needed to. Because that's how Jacob with the twos. Joel, my wife Stephanie joined the council. Nice. Welcome, Stephanie. Welcome, welcome. And Grandma with a 7, Canadian. Mabel, so new idea for the weekend streams. Instead of push-ups, snack Sundays or shot, whichever you're feeling up to that day. Yeah. Honestly, snacks sound way better. But I guess push-ups are pretty productive.
Hey, listen.
It was a really long-winded way of saying that he didn't actually know if angels really existed, but he sure believed they did. Either that, or there was some kind of force in the universe that woke him up just as he reached mile marker 158, right at the exact split second that he needed to. Because as I already said, if he'd nodded off a millisecond later, or nodded himself awake a millisecond later, I wouldn't be writing this right now. Where are the lot lizards? Come on. Just kidding. What are you guys talking about? Obsessed with a spelling contest? Who is? Joel internally yelling at the story format. No, I like understand where some of their errors can be. It's almost like you're writing a sentence and then you like delete a part and then you add a part in the beginning. But what you end up actually doing is like just having like multiple conjunctions in there that like, because you forgot to like visually see them as you like read it over or something. Scariest thing that happened to me while I was a truck driver was realizing I was a truck driver. Yeah, I imagine truck drivers have a lot of sciatica issues, just like sitting in a fucking car all day. My dad was a lot lizard. Same, dude. Lizards secretly run the world. Do they? Would they still be lizards in that scenario? Just like evolved dinosaurs? That would be interesting. I mean, if like we evolved... Honestly, think about that. If we evolved from monkeys, hypothetically, or some type of like primate, into what we are now as like Homo sapiens, don't you think like lizards could have evolved some type of intelligence? Like they always say like, actually the T-Rex turned into a fucking chicken. Like really? Really? That's the direction things went? Like that just seems like the worst possible way to evolve. Somehow we got to be fucking like cool ass humans with like Lamborghinis and Twitter and shit, you know what I mean? And fucking dinosaurs who could rip us in half were like, I'm gonna just be a chicken. I'm gonna go live in a coop. Do I have ADHD? I have a lot of trouble reading through lives. No judgment either. I mean, it's easier for me to read whenever this is all I'm doing, but I just get bored, you know what I mean? Like, I'm reading, And I want to see what you guys are saying. Like, you guys are way more fun than reading this shit that I've done like 9,000 times in a row. YouTube question, do you get to pick the ads that pop in the video? I don't think so. I think it's all demographically related. Jennifer Bowman, thank you for the 5, Jennifer. Thank you, thank you. Hell Right is also a terrible country song. I like Blake Shelton. Yeah, I'm not much of a country fan. I stepped on a lizard when I was a kid and the tail came off. Oh, nice. I wonder which kind it was. Do the anoles, do they do that?
Hey, listen.
Small mammals were more adaptable than the dinosaurs. Yeah, I suppose so, but why would you adapt? I mean, I guess they say they got extinct, right? Or some shit. I don't know. I don't fucking know. We all like to pretend like we understand reality. That somehow we can just like know the progression of millions and millions of years. And, you know, sure. I mean, I understand like a general concept, but I think that's the hubris of man, is just always pretending like we got the answers. Anyways, what the fuck am I talking about? Lizard people? Jacob with the 2 says, I have proven that Stephanie is real. Jesus. She's Jesus? She's the real Jesus this whole time. What charity are you hosting? I hope I said that right, sorry. What charity am I hosting? Yeah, this is not a charity stream currently, my friend. I like to be real about not understanding our reality. You know, yeah, like I get annoyed when people like just kind of like, you can study something, but like us layman people who don't like dive deep into particular topics, like sometimes it's not bad to just admit you have no fucking idea. You know what I mean? That's not a bad thing to do. A lot of people like grasp onto control, or they feel a sense of control in their life, you know, by sitting there and pretending like they know everything, you know, or they get on Reddit and they see a few things and they spout it off or some shit. Watch a YouTube video or a documentary and it makes them feel good, you know, because it essentially generates like a little bit of a narrative in their mind that, but at the end of the day, no one knows what the fuck is going on. That guy just ran into a bunch of bees, you know what I mean? Or then that other guy apparently just fucking drove like 15 miles asleep. We don't know what the fuck's going on. The God of Pez with the 5. Joel Patrol in here. Joel, I'm thinking of getting Chilling Sub. Are you still on there? Mind giving us a quick rundown of the service? Final. Yeah, so I'm still on Chilling. I do about 2 hours of narrations for them a month. And then they kind of like output it as they, at their own leisure. But yeah, I'm still on there. And basically it's just like a bunch of narrators. I believe Mr. Creeps is on there. I think Dark Somnium's on there as well. I can't quite remember. Various other ones, you know, Being Scared, and I think Swamp Dweller's on there. Various ones, you know what I mean? And some external, you know, talent as well, not within the creepypasta community, like voice actors and stuff are on there. And yeah, basically just we read scary stories and true crime and old classics and that kind of thing, and you can put I think like different ambient noises in the background, like crackling fire or rain or whatever, like a storm, those kinds of things. And the whole idea is like that you get to listen to these stories from your favorite people, find new ones as well, and fall asleep to them, you know. There's a sleep timer, so you know it like the app turns off after a period of time. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. I really have a lot of faith in the app overall, like it's, even though I know that you might think that I'm just saying it, but I really do think it's something that doesn't exist as its own thing, you know, yet. So it's kind of ahead of its time a little bit. Are Corpse Husband and Southern Cannibal the same person? I don't think so. Probably not. If you were looking at handmade stuff, would you want a place called Aquarial Designs or a place called Rainbow Sparkle Grams? Trying to decide if I should it up. If I shoot it up. I mean, I like the name Aquarial Designs more than Rainbow Sparkle Grams. Like that kind of. It's a lot less mouthful. Sign up after the stream. Nice, yeah. I think it's worth it, and it's you can do a test run of it, and then it's just like $3 a month or something like that. Corpse doesn't even narrate anymore. No, I mean he does music. That's his thing, and other business ventures. Sometimes gaming. Entropic Society, what's up? I tried getting on the app. It definitely ahead of its time. Love the different background option. Oh, nice. Yeah. Hopefully over time they'll bring you on board. That would be awesome. Okay, what the fuck am I? So we read that one and that one. Let's read this one, shall we? I was driving my 18-wheeler on this long-haul stretch one time when I suddenly needed to pee real bad. I figured I'd just wait for a gas station or something, but after maybe 5 or 10 minutes of driving, there was no sign of any, and no signs to tell me if I was close to one or not. So, to save from soaking my drawers, I decided to pull over and take a leak at the side of the road. It was incredibly dark outside, and although the side of the road I stopped on had a bunch of woods in it, I'll admit it was way too spooky for me to just wander off into the dark. And being as dark as it was, I figured I'd be able to just put my hazard lights on and take a few steps to the side before whipping it out. Then right as I'm peeing, I hear something running through the trees toward me. I mean, whatever it was pounding dirt as it came at me. I couldn't see a freaking thing, and it scared the life out of me even more, so I tried to stop peeing and put my junk away, then just bolted back to my truck cab as quickly as I could. I half expected whatever it was to slam itself up against the door of my truck, and since I keep a gun in my glove box, first thing I did was grab it, and then aim it right towards the window, getting ready to blast the first thing I saw. It felt like I was lying there on the seat for like a half an hour, but in reality it was maybe only a minute or two, and absolutely nothing appeared at the window or banged up against the door of my truck. I know it was dumb of me, but I spent the next few minutes looking out of the driver's side window checking for whatever it was I heard running, but again, I didn't see anything. And that was about the same time that I realized that I hadn't actually stopped peeing when I thought I did, and in the process of putting it away and diving into my truck. I would have peed out the window if it was a man. Pee by the woods in Egypt. That was about the same time I realized that I hadn't actually stopped peeing when I thought I did, and in the process of putting it away and diving into my truck, I soaked the entirety of my pants and seat. I spent the next few miles driving back buck naked from the waist down, with my pants slung over the air conditioner, trying to dry them before the next rest stop. Definitely one of my worst nights ever on the job, and for more than one reason, too. I had to get a new domain name, so I went with Rainbow Sparkle Grams, but it is kind of a mouthful. I have Aquario, as some people think aquariums. Oh, okay, yeah. Huh. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess if you're kind of locked into one, it's tough, Now that's the scary part. Imagine the reupholstery work. Yeah, just gonna stink like piss forever, probably. Okay. So this might not be the most terrifying story y'all have ever heard, but I'm pretty sure you'll understand why I found this so creepy. I drive trucks for a living, and this one morning I'm cruising down this stretch of highway during the summer. It was early enough for the sun to be up and incredibly bright, and when I come around this one bend in the road, all I see in front of me, on the blacktop, was blood. Blood, guts, crushed bones, and fur. I mean, it was a massacre out there. There must have been like 100 small animals bleeding all over the road for maybe a quarter mile. And I ain't never seen anything like that in my life. Looked like the set of a horror movie or something. Later I found out that some science place had been raided by animal rights protesters or something, who let out all these minks and ferrets or whatever. In the middle of the night. The poor things booked it through a forest, across a field, and then onto a busy stretch of highway. Boom, boom, boom. They're running back and forth, getting crushed by cars. Must have been a few of them coming thick and fast, because I can't see how they got so many at one time before all of them things just scattered and got their butts off the road. But good God, I suppose the road is really...
Hey, listen.
But good God, I suppose the road to hell really is paved with good intentions. Let's Read's main HO3 with the 2 says you should set up a cameo. Yeah, what's that about? I saw, what's his name? Who's the guy that does the mukbangs and stuff? Nikocado Avocado. I saw he had a cameo. That would be interesting. I wonder if you have to show your face on there. You're off to listen to Chilling. Love your voice, Joel, but I need to be able to sleep, and if I stay here and chat, I'll never go to bed. It's far too comedic. Have a good night. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Take care and have fun. Thanks for subscribing to Chilling. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. Fan with the 5 says, have to jiggle, jiggle, have to fold. Yeah. I forget who. Was that you that suggested that? Because I did be saying it at the end of the video. Would you happen to have any stories about shapeshifters by chance? Maybe like some of the, Native American skinwalker stories. Those ones, I think, like, have some connection to, like, shapeshifting and that kind of thing. Milena Slaymaker
Listen.
with a 5 says, out of curiosity, have you ever narrated a full novel? I have not, no, sadly. That would be rough. You're having the shittiest day, Ashley? Oh no. We must unshit your day. We must pull the shit back up inside of the day and get rid of it. Oh, Gilbert Godfrey was on Cameo. That's awesome. Rest in peace, Gilbert. I think he lived a good life, Pretty young, obviously, but he's got a family to keep the name going. You're drunker and back. Let's go. Let's go. Whistle for us. I don't think I can right now. I just lubed my lips. See, that's a breathe in whistle, but it's not a breathe out whistle. Yeah, whenever my lips are super, like, lip balmed up to help me read, it's just not gonna work. So what kind of dono do I have to make to get you to read Annabelle Le Pomme from Edgar Allan Poe? Is it long? Is it scary? Why is my voice so perfect? I don't know. I guess God did it. Or maybe you can thank my mama. You whistle in, you can't whistle out. Yeah, I wanted to do my, like, bird call that I do. That's pretty sweet, but I can't do it while I'm narrating. Can I whistle while I twerk? All the goddamn time. You're sorry you get migraines and cluster and similar. It's fucking hurts like a motherfucker. Yeah, those migraines would be terrible. Might be in the Chilling app. What's in the Chilling app? The novel? What stories I'm going to read to us? Yeah, so I'm reading trucker stories right now. I was just reading chat. So far we've read... How many we read? 1, 2, 3, 4... And this is story 5. Hear your sweet bird call. I'm trying. I can't right now. Chick's got a bad boy side. We all know that. You had a migraine all heckin' day. Do you think you're attractive? I mean, people tell me that, but I mean, we all have our insecurities and whatever. I think the interesting thing is, like, growing up, I was always like a chubby kid, you know what I mean? And then once I like hit middle school and high school and like started doing more athletic stuff and kind of like figured my body out or whatever and like how to stay healthy, that was whenever like more of the attention, I guess, came within like the sort of romantic sense or whatever. And even to this day, I feel like, you know, when you do get that kind of attention, it's almost like confusing because you just like didn't, I guess, really ever get used to it when you were younger or whatever. Everyone is exquisite and grotesque. This is true, yes. I definitely have my very grotesque aspects, especially on my colonoscopy. Lower intestine reveal. Yeah, you gotta go to the colonoscopy. You gotta check the tapes. What's the best is personality. Everyone is disgusting, aging flesh bag, and advertising shames you to take your dollars. Yeah, isn't that weird? It feels like everything is just like advertising. Whether you're watching the news or whether you're watching, you're scrolling Instagram, like everything just exists to make you feel bad, to like make you like shape your perception of reality, or like make you spend money on stuff, or make you afraid or whatever. It's so fucking stupid. It really does make me wonder what times were like back in, like, I don't know, before advertising was just so prevalent. David De La Rosa Jr. with the 2 says, hi Joel, sorry for being late. Oh, that's okay. No worries, my friend. We both got tramp stamps. Hell yeah, let's go. Good night, everyone. I have a presentation tomorrow. Joel, could you say at the end of the video, if you can't see them, doesn't mean we can't see you. Night night. I shall try to remember, but good luck with the presentation, bunny. Gotta get the prostate checked out. Yep. Daily checks. Adverts are everywhere. I know, isn't it weird? Like, I get it, but like there's this one album by Sufjan Stevens called Age of Ads. And, you know, just superficially, just the title of that just is interesting. Like, imagine if back in, like, history, like, things do change, you know? And there was a time in history where they describe as the age of ads, where every human being on Earth, or in a particular, I don't know if you're on another planet or something, were just inundated daily with, like, products or something. And they analyzed the psychological effects on our mind being inundated with those products and those perceptions of reality. It is really fucking strange that these electronic devices that exist in our hand, you know, in front of us in the TV, in like the TV room, you know, literally called the TV room because it's like the central focus. It's just like an electronic thing that just you stare at, you know, and it just like programs your brain to think a certain way or feel a certain way, or it's all just like a weird simulation. It's fucking strange. But then how good do you feel when you finally get away from that shit, you know what I mean? When you, like, you never, I'm sure you've gone like a period of time where you just like left your phone somewhere for 2 hours and you actually were enthralled by what you were doing and you forgot about it. And there's a bit of an excitement. You're like, oh, let me check my phone. Maybe I've got, you know, a message from my friends or something like that. But at the same time, that sort of escape and just existing where you are, you almost like feel more secure in that moment than you ever did. Chick is a handsome young man. I bet he is. I have a hard time listening to other readers because you are so good. Oh, thank you, sweet cat. I've seen a lot of people comment that. They're like, God damn it, Joel. You've ruined me for other people. Virtual insanity, yeah. How do I get my brain juice to stop being pain juice? True. You just gotta go do something tactile, probably, like gardening or cooking, and go on a walk. Oh shit, the sex bots are here. But they couldn't make it past the wall of Schick and Fry. The mods have their bows and arrows ready, at the ready. Their shields up and a phalanx to protect against the harlots. Here to tempt us, but they shall not today. Heard supermarkets use psychology to their advantage. Yeah, for sure. Like the first thing you see when you go in is a Walmart greeter. And he's beautiful. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful 65-year-old man. And he gives you a fucking sticker. Like, of course you're going to kiss him on the lips. Like, what are you supposed to do? And then, you know, if you kiss him on the lips, like, you can't not go buy an Xbox or whatever. And groceries. And a big banana. Forgive me for commandeering someone else's story here, but I think it's very relevant to the thread, and although my father wasn't a trucker, this incident closely involves someone who was. Back in the 70s, my dad was an 18-year-old gas station attendant at a 24-hour gas station. One night, Dad was the only one working the late shift when one of the sketchiest customers he'd ever laid eyes on walks into the station. My dad said it was really obvious that the guy was concealing something in his pants, and his first thought, which brings on some major panic, is that the guy has a gun on him. Now, a whole lot of truck drivers used to use his station for two reasons. Number one, it had a pretty roomy parking lot which they'd use to take naps and breaks in, and number two, it was the only place for miles around that they could get a bite to eat. Usually, there could have been up to 10 truckers parked up in the lot, but on this particular night, there was only one truck there. Luckily, though, the guy just so happened to be in the store with my dad, but since Dad didn't know if he was armed or what kind of guy he was, he figured he was still pretty vulnerable. The weird guy starts walking up and down the rows in the store, and my dad can't tell he's not really... My dad can tell. Let's read's main HO3. Can I get a kiss on the lips? That's assault. I'm calling the cops. But I'm glad you asked. Phew, yeah, phew, it was just a gun. Thank God, it's just a gun in his pants. The weird guy starts walking up and down the rows in the store, and my dad can tell he's not really looking at anything. Most customers either come in to pay for their gas or went straight to the hot food counter to pick out something to eat. Weird guy looks like he's just biding his time before he pulls out his gun and robs the store. At least that's what's going through my dad's head. The trucker comes up to the counter while this is happening, puts down a bag of chips, and just so happens to look over his shoulder at the sketchy guy. Then, this moment of pure understanding occurs. The trucker looks at the sketchy guy, then looks at my dad, then back and forth maybe once or twice more, then asks my dad what was supposed to sound like a totally random question. He says something like, "Quiet night, huh?" He says something like, "Quiet night, huh? I wouldn't feel safe working at a gas station alone. You keep a gun behind the counter there or something?" All my dad had was a bat, and even so, it belonged to the store's owner. All my dad had was a bat, and even so, it belonged to the station's owner, but the trucker widens his eyes and mimes a nod at my dad, who suddenly realizes what he's supposed to say in reply. "Oh yeah," he says. "I got a 45 right here. Always just in arms like the way." The trucker continues to play along and bangs his fist on the counter before kind of shielding the action with his body. "Oh yeah?" he says. "Well, check this out. 357 Magnum. Bought it after I saw that movie, Dirty Harry. Not as big a bullet as your 45, but it sure does pack a punch. Some days I just pray some SOB mess with me so I can blow his freaking head off." Right as he says that, the sketchy guy just makes a beeline for the door, gets back into his car, then zooms off down the highway. When the guy had left, the trucker turns back to my dad and says something along the lines of, "You know that guy was about to rob you, right? I was going to take a nap out back, but I think I'm more in the mood for coffee after that. Oh, and do yourself a favor. Call the cops." My dad says he always figured guardian angels would be all cherubic, half-naked winged ladies that descend playing harps or whatever. He didn't figure they came in the form of some hairy trucker who smelled like he hadn't showered in 3 days. But as he puts it, every day is a school day. The guy spent the entire rest of his break hanging around the store, making conversation with my dad until the cops showed up and my dad could file a report. The trucker confirmed the story too, backing my dad up when he said it looked like the sketchy guy had a gun stuffed in the back of his pants. Then get this, right in the middle of talking to the cops, both of their radios start buzzing, and they run out of the gas station, get into the patrol car, and speed off down the highway with their lights and sirens on. The trucker responds, "I hope our friend and his gun didn't find the trouble they were looking for." Only, they had. My dad said he read in the newspaper the next day that the very same guy, based on the description in the paper, had walked into another gas station about 10 miles down the highway. But unlike my dad, the clerk in that station hadn't been so lucky. The guy was the actual owner and operator of the station, tried to resist the robbery, and ended up paying with his life. From what my dad could tell, the sketchy guy pulled his gun, the station owner went for his, and the sketchy guy just pulled the trigger. Boom. Killed him behind his own counter. Now, my dad obviously didn't have a gun, but he said he was panicking just watching the guy walking around the store. If that was him getting robbed by someone with such an itchy trigger finger, he might have made a wrong move or something, and bam. I literally wouldn't even be around today to write this. I think the sketchy guy ended up getting the death penalty too. That, or died in some shootout with the cops. Maybe even the same cops who attended my dad's call. I can't quite remember which, but Dad always mentions him getting what he deserved whenever he tells the story. Now, I don't have to tell you how glad I am of that too, because even though it's so surreal to me, the idea of someone actually hurting my dad is just on a whole other kind of rage that I would feel. Dad's story doesn't just give me a belief in guardian angel. Dad's story doesn't just give me a belief in guardian angels, even if they do appear in unconventional forms, but it also makes me believe that there might just be something like divine justice, too. Drunk-ish. Who's drunk-ish? Also today I was working out, and I don't know, you guys ever like work out or like lift weights, but you like accidentally breathe in when you should have breathed out? And you like kind of like strain the muscles in your like ribs, your like intercostal muscles. That shit's annoying. I don't know, I just feel like there's like a tension in my back from where I like breathed in when I was like lifting up. Pank champagne. Dairy is bad for adult animals. Damn. Pens or Flyers? Well, definitely. I mean, I went to a Pens or a Flyers game, but I feel like I'd rather be a Pens fan. Just because they're better. But I've never actually picked a favorite hockey team or anything like that. I don't even really watch hockey, but I went to a Flyers game, and goddamn, that was a lot of fun. It made me want to be a hockey fan. You wanted to be haunted by an ancient demon so Joel can narrate my story. Yeah, you gotta go find one first. Who drinks half a bottle of vodka and can still make rational decisions? Not me. Not me. Haters with the two says, are you sus for Fry, Daddy Joel? I'm always sus. I'm that sussy baka. Sussy baka. Good job for the trucker not carrying a 357 mag, but the 45 will do, especially jumping up and down in the truck all day. Yeah, right, you never know when it might go off. These are made specifically for dogs. One is peanut butter and one is pumpkin. Wait, what's made for dogs? I feel like I missed something. Because of Candy Cane and Joyride, I called myself Strawberry. I don't make rational decisions sober. You don't want to see what I do when I'm drunk. Guys, leave Fry alone. Do not, just leave him alone, alright? He's just a boy. I'm not a long-haul trucker, and I don't drive an 18-wheeler, but I do drive a flatbed truck that makes deliveries around my home state of Maine. And more importantly, I definitely have a creepy story to share with you guys. This one night, back in the winter of 2008, I was driving down this dark stretch of road in the late evening, and with it being winter, it was dark out. I'm driving between two towns too. Did you watch Jujutsu Kaisen? No, I don't think I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it. Why are you getting sleepy already? You're always sleepy. Ben & Jerry's doggy ice cream. Oh shit. Yeah, what do they do to make it so it's good for doggies? You kind of smell like a baka. You kind of smell like a baka. I'm driving between towns too, and some stretches of road out here barely have lights on them. I can only see what my headlights are lighting up, so imagine how scared I was when suddenly, I see. I can only see what my headlights are lighting up, so imagine how scared I was when suddenly they pick up a guy just standing right in the middle of the road. I had to swerve to miss him, and I swear I only just missed the guy. Put it this way, I passed so close to him that I could tell the guy's eyes were closed as I passed him. Yeah, that close. And that wasn't the only detail I noticed about the guy. Not only was he dressed entirely in white, but he looked like he had some kind of white makeup all over his face and head too. The guy was bald, and he had this same bright white skin tone all over. The second I came to a stop, I jumped out of my truck and ran back to see if he was okay. I mean, I was still worried I might have clipped him on the way past or something, because, like I said, I must have been just inches from smashing this guy. But as I ran back just a few feet, I noticed the road was completely empty. I've had people say to me, oh, it's definitely a ghost. And let me tell you, it wasn't a friggin' ghost. Not that I don't believe in all that stuff, more like I heard the guy running off through a field. Wait, what? Sandra with the two, I have a question for you. Want some jelly beans? Hey, you want some jelly beans? I would like some jelly beans right now. That sounds very lovely. Oh, can you make cookies with jelly beans? Also, where's the guy that made cookies earlier? Mr. Burger. Did I give him such an idea for the Old Bay seasoning that he just went off to patent that shit? I hope so. Love Jujutsu Kaisen. Am I saying it right? Is it Jujutsu Kaisen or the? But Joel gives off psychological thriller energy like My Future Diary or Psychopaths. Hell yeah, brother. I like the sound of that. I don't know what it means, but I like it. I think I'd be a really good bad guy in a movie or anime or some shit. I don't know. I would, like, a lot of people want to be in like shows and shit. I just want to be in it for the experience. I think it'd be so cool to be in a studio or some shit. Maybe at home. I guess people do it at home sometimes now. And just, I don't know, playing these characters. Like, it would be so much fun. And just, I don't know, just the experience you have with like your cast and crew, like you probably become really close friends. Maybe I just want some friends. I bought these taco truck jelly beans. They are weird. Taco truck ones. You're supposed to plant those to make a big old beanstalk. You'd be a great bad guy. Thank you. I would love to. Cookie burger or burger cookie? I don't know. They both sound interesting. I'd eat anything, honestly. Just shove it in my mouth. Oh, wait. He went to sleep, but we've done that before. Oh, do you work with him, Oz? That's awesome. I can see you voicing a villain that can be intimidating, but also kind of goofy. Kind of a silly baka. Do kids still motion truckers to honk? I fucking hope so. I feel like that would be like the most fun aspect of being a trucker is like, oh, some kids on the bus are going, you know, doing the fucking fist pump thing. Better go, and then they're all like, yeah, fuck yeah. You know, that's how I was back in the day. I would make the motion, and then they'd do it, and like everybody on the bus would be losing their fucking mind, bro. We'd shit our pants. We'd throw the shit everywhere in the bus. And the bus driver didn't care, man. They knew we were happy. The shit would be dripping off their like rear view mirror and like their face. They knew we were happy. I'd be the hot villain. I'd be the hot cartoon character. They do it to trains. Oh my god, yeah, trains are so loud. Dude, I remember I had a friend back in college who had like one of those train horns on his truck. That shit was obnoxious, and he scared the shit out of me one time. I was like crossing a at a crosswalk, and he was at the light, and I didn't notice him, and he just let it off. It was like, and you just like feel it fucking hit you, and like you're already crossing a crosswalk, so you're like semi-anxious from maybe dying, and that really got me. I do the best Hank Hill thing. God dang it, thank you. I appreciate that. Is that one of them animes? God dang it, Satsuke. Satsuke. I can't pronounce these freaking names. Do airplanes have horns? I hope so, just to make the other airplanes get out of the way. Or birds. What if there's like a flock of birds in front of you? You need them to move. Move it. Coming through. Oh, wait, what's Chibi? I will be in the Creepy Fox's animation here soon. There's on my Twitter, it should link to an Instagram for a little bit of a snippet of me being in there. It's funny though, like listening to myself do that, I'm like, fuck, I can do way better. Like I could, in the sense that I could have acted better. I feel like my acting in that, even just like the snippet that I heard, I'm like, man, I sound like this is my first time, which it technically kind of is. A flock of seagulls, maybe. Sasuke. Oh, thank you. God damn, well, I feel like that's what Hank Hill would say. God dang it, Satsuke. Squawk Force 1. I have no idea. He's missing out. Not that I don't believe in all that stuff. More like I heard the guy running off through a field at the side of the road. I didn't see him run, but I could 100% hear him running. I don't know what in God's name he was thinking. If it was some weird attempt at taking his own life or what, but Jesus Christ, am I glad I didn't hit him, because I think that would have messed me up for the rest of my life. I am due my Streamly quota of squawks. I know, yeah, where is he? At 600 miles per hour, a horn wouldn't work. You'd be moving at the speed of sound. Dude. We need a fucking horn. It doesn't matter. Just so that the pilot can bring me up front, put me on his fucking lap, and I get to press the horn. The plane horn. Or you know what it should do? It should activate inside of the plane. So it just wakes everyone up with a loud train horn. You're taking the red eye from fucking Bangkok to Florida? Fuck you. I'm sitting on the pilot's lap and I'm pressing the horn. Now you're awake. Also, we're crashing into the fucking ocean because I pressed the knobs and other buttons down. This is why the plane flashes its bright lights. Yeah, do planes have turn signals and all that kind of stuff? Are there stop signs for planes? Okay. Those last two were pretty good. I'd probably start with those two stories because they were quite creepy, quite creepy. You have blown the whistle on a steam engine? Like in a plane? Maybe planes have horns that you actually have to blow into with your mouth. Is the pilot Santa? I fucking hope so. If it's not, I'm bringing this motherfucker down. Okay, I was driving an 18... Wait, did I read this one? Dark one. There was one about a mile marker. The one about bees. I don't think I read this one. Yeah, I don't think I read this one yet. Birds aren't real? Bro, tell me about it. I see them outside every day and I'm like, you fucking fakers. This is just good programming, good animatronics. Better than the Muppets. The pilot is inflatable. I hope so. We can, in case we crash, he can operate as our little boat. I've been driving 18-wheelers for the better part of 15 years now, and all my time on the highways and byways of this great nation of ours, I've only seen one thing that's ever really scared me. I'm not saying I'm some kind of hardcore mother effer, but I've had plenty of things make me anxious or nervous, and I sure do a whole lot. I sure do. Do you like Gladiator movies? Yeah, dude, I was watching some of Gladiator, like the philosophy of Gladiator, because a lot of it's like just literally quotes from Marcus Aurelius. But yeah, the Gladiator movie itself with Russell Crowe, so fucking good, man. Just so good. David De La Rosa, welcome back to the Buttersock Cult for 7 whole months. Says, Joel, thank you for everything. You're the man. The farm story was awesome. How's Mr. Pradeep? He's good. He is... Oh, he's over in his spot now. I see him perched. But I'm glad you like the farm. Yeah, guys, if you're a member, be sure to head over to the members-only bonus content, and you'll get to listen to the newest creepypasta up there. It's pretty baller. And there's plenty of others as well. I've heard enough horns for a lifetime. Where did you hear horns? How do people not fall off around Earth? I don't know, dude. We should just be rolling nonstop. It is kind of interesting because, like, isn't, you know, the sun is just careening through the universe. We're, like, on the Earth, but the Earth is, like, careening around the sun, like, through its gravitational pull or whatever the fuck gravity is. And, like, and then, so technically, we're, like, careening through. So in reality, like, I feel like even our ability to, I mean, I guess, like, that sort of sense, like, that centrifugal force of the Earth is really just, like, what gravity is, at least to an extent. It's just, I always like to think of it, like, I always like to think of gravity in some fashions, and maybe I'm wrong, probably wrong, and but I like to visualize it in my head, is like whenever, you know, say you're swimming past, like, a bunch of toys or some shit, and then, you know, in your wake, like, the toy, little ducky in your bath time, you know, gets pulled along with you. And that's how I like to imagine, like, gravity or space kind of works. Bro, you are pretty baller. I think we can all agree. Well, thank you, Perry. I do be ballin' from time to time. We are whooshing through, and with turn signals, yeah. That's what the sun is, just one giant turn signal. Fun fact, did you know that most gladiators didn't fight to the death like in the movies? Most gladiators actually fought until they couldn't fight anymore. Yeah, but like, weren't they still whacking each other with swords with the intent to kill? Because I feel like, unless I don't know, unless they like agreed upon like a non-lethal scenario. I mean, that fucking scene where he's like, "Are you not entertained? Is that not why you're here?" Like, that part is so fucking badass because he's literally just like, you know, it's kind of like a character development, like, kind of, you know, where it's like they've zoomed forward and the main character is like got the respect of everybody and they all want to fucking be him and they think he's cool and they all are like, Spaniard, 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 and he's just like walking through like a hard ass, and then he just comes out and like there's all these just like nameless goons out there that he just like slices their heads off and shit, and I don't know, that's just, that scene goes fucking hard. Wonder what kind of circumstances you'd be in to fight to the death. I don't know, dude. I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, even just like a see, Jesus Christ, what the fuck just happened? I got the hiccups and a cough at the same time. Oh, okay. And a burp. My God, every fucking Am I dying? And by not be able to fight anymore, like dead. Right, yeah, imagine, like, I guess it just depends on the rules. A lot of gladiators would die from injuries, but yeah, their owners generally didn't want to have to find and train more fighters, for sure. Especially when drafts cost so much. Yeah, sorry. I like breathed in my own spit without realizing it, and it just like reflexively caused me to like cough and I guess hiccup and burp all in one fucking one motion. It's an over 30 thing, Joel. Yeah, like my esophagus is just eroded, and I'd just be breathing in liquid from time to time. Too much fucking soda. Until one of them would yield, gladiators would fight. Slaves and criminals were the ones that were forced to fight to the death. Interesting. Oh, so some of the gladiators actually... Well, I imagine sometimes gladiators would probably fight the slaves or criminals because they would be more expendable or some shit like that. Yeah, somebody spit in my mouth mid narration, and I had to do a factory reset. If you had to fight a horror narrator to the death, who would you choose? Probably Pickle Rick. He's a new up and comer, and I can't let him make it any further. I know he's going to usurp me. I can't fucking let him get any further. We have to pull the rug out. My cat is lying on my fabric I'm trying to sew. Guess I'm done working. You walk through a gladiatorial arena in Spain. That's awesome. That would be so cool. But also very sad, just because, I don't know. It's crazy, just like human history. Like what we are. I feel like nowadays we're still just as brutal, but we try to hide it. Have you heard of the SawCon situation? No, I know that one because someone had got me there. Like, someone was like, "Yo, you going to VidCon?" And then they were like, "Oh, I'm going to SawCon." And then I was like, "I never heard of SawCon," so I assumed it was gonna be about Saw, like the Jigsaw Killer. But guess what? It wasn't. It was a jokety joke that I'll let you figure out later. Do you have any Disneyland horror stories? I do. Yeah, they are on the channel. Why are you Urple? Just remember, drink your water. Stay hydrated, my friends. Yes, yes. I'm not saying I'm some kind of hardcore that says hard ass, but I can't say bad words in my videos. Pickle Rick would ruin me. I'd fucking squish his ass. I'm not saying that I'm hardcore or something. I've had plenty of things make me anxious or nervous, and I sure do a whole lot of worrying when I'm out there in the great unknown all on my lonesome. But only one single solitary thing that I can safely say terrified me. I was driving through South Dakota, hauling lumber down Highway 73, and out there is some of the most barren, featureless land you would ever have the misfortune of seeing. Don't get me wrong, I love this state. It's home, and it's always been my... I've never been to South Dakota. Dr. Penn with a 1, thank you, my friend. And Jade with a 9. Is that euros? Or no, pounds, sorry. I can't. Your voice is soothing, love, talking to everyone here. Thank you for the community of wonderful people you brought together. You're welcome. Thank you for being part of that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jade. And thank you, Dr. Penn. Thank you, guys. Have I done my push-ups? Not yet. Remind me. I'll do them after this story. Do you think we're so brutal deep in our minds because humans back then witnessed lots of wars and death that you could say it became primal instinct? Yeah, I think so. I think it's just natural. Like, I think a lot of the times we kind of, like, a lot of people don't want to come to terms with, like, our history of brutality. But I really do think that there's something just wired into us to be as brutal as possible because those were the ones that lived onward, you know what I mean? Like, if you wanted a resource, you know, you took it, you know, and then those people, like, mated and made more people, and it's like whatever genetic component makes someone, like, more prone to violence or something like that, like those types of things lived on, and to the point where it was like entertaining at one point in, like, you know, Roman history or whatever, to just observe violence. I mean, we still watch, like, we love fights and hockey. When we watch in hockey, we're like, fuck yeah, yeah, you know, or people are like world star and all that shit, you know. I think it's just built into us to be not civilized, you know, and we try our best to hide it, but it's there. Sometimes killing's easy as breathing. I want to see a Joel versus Nikocado boxing match. No, I would never hurt Nikocado. He is a precious gem. D-Shore with the 13. Thank you, D-Shore. I was driving through South Dakota hauling lumber down Highway 73, and out there is some of the most barren, featureless land you could ever have the misfortune of seeing. Don't get me wrong, I love this state. It's home, and it'll always be my home. But sometimes, you just want something to look at while you're driving, you know? Anyway, I'm driving down this particularly empty stretch of 75, a place where you can see for miles and miles in every direction, just all horizons as far as the eye can see, when suddenly, I see something on the side of the road. I couldn't tell exactly what it was until I was maybe a few hundred meters away, but it looked an awful lot like a guy crouching over something that was lying at the roadside. It looked like he was picking something up off the ground and bringing it up to his face, and it was only as I passed them that I realized what was going on. The thing that was lying on the ground was a piece of roadkill. I don't know if it was a deer or antelope or whatever you want to call it. In fact, I'm not exactly sure what kind of animal it was. I just know that the hands and face of whoever was leaning over it were covered in blood. They were eating that piece of roadkill, and it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. I just have no idea why. I've had people ask me why I didn't stop to see what the person's deal was, but I always turn the question around on them and ask if they'd want to stop their truck in the middle of nowhere to talk to someone who was eating dead animal. Apart from the occasional tough guy who lies through his teeth and claims that they've gotten out with the... Apart from the occasional... Who said you'd win, Joel? I know, that's a good fucking point. Good point. He'd probably eat me. No, I like Nikocado avocado. Like, a lot of people, like, you know, like, I don't know, they love to hate him or whatever. But to me, it's like very clear. It's very clear when I watch him that he's just doing a bit. You know what I mean? He's just playing a character, a very, you know, dramatic, rousing. Is rousing a term? Not e-rousing, just rousing gentlemen. You know what I mean? And it's a meme, you know? You just be a meme for a while, and I think it's funny. Would I like to travel to the past or the future? Probably the past. Well, actually, I'll just stay here. That'd be really funny. Like somebody comes up to you with a time machine. Hey, I've got a time machine. Where would you like to go? I think I'll just stay here, honestly. All that just sounds kind of complicated. I don't think they have double stuffed Oreos even in like 1970. I'd have to make it myself. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? I have. My friends tried to get me into it and stuff. I would have loved Dungeons and Dragons if I was like younger, you know what I mean? But as I am like older, like they want me to play characters and take it seriously. I can't take it seriously. Like the whole fucking time I'm just memeing, and like some of the people that want to take it seriously get annoyed with me, so making jokes. So it just made the whole experience kind of like, fuck that shit. This is stupid. Do I believe in you? Absolutely. I hope you exist. Apart from the occasional tough guy who lies through their teeth and claims that they'd have gotten out. You like to play Magic? Yeah, I saw a bunch of people at this one place having like almost like a Magic tournament. It was pretty cool. You were a D&D nerd through 80s and 1990s? Apart from the occasional tough guy who lies through their teeth and claims that they'd have gotten out with a gun to play 20 questions or whatever, the answer is always the same. No. I've had a few fairly reasonable suggestions to explain what I was looking at, and some not too reasonable ones too. Some of the less believable range from Bigfoot to Wolfman to a zombie apocalypse. Some people have even seen the moon. Some people have seen to... Oh, I see. I've had a few fairly reasonable suggestions to explain what I was looking at, and some not too reasonable ones too. Some of the less believable range from Bigfoot to Wolfman to the zombie apocalypse. Some people have seen too many movies, but I actually buy one of the more legit suggestions. We have a few weirdo survivalist enclaves out here in South Dakota, one of which is the old military base turned survivalist compound in the Black Hills that they call X Point. You have to have a fair amount of scratch stashed away to buy one of those bunkers, but I've heard people really do live there. People that have lost half their minds. People that have half lost... Oh, I see. You have to have a fair amount of scratch stashed away to buy one. Motherfucker. Okay, it worked. You have to have a fair amount of scratch stashed away to buy one of those bunkers, but I've heard people really do live there. People that have lost their minds. I can't fucking read. I don't understand the sentence, like, that have half lost their minds anyway. You gotta get Karen and Kevin's commenting for like... You're gonna get Karen's and Kevin's commenting for liking Nikocado. I mean, he gets millions of views. Like, obviously somebody fucking likes him. I mean, I don't watch his content or anything like that, but people always act like there's certain characters within certain communities that, can't be liked or can't be appreciated. But honestly, to me, like, there will be some people that I just, like, find them so annoying or whatever, but then as soon as, like, a bunch of people say they don't like that person, all of a sudden I like that person just to be... I don't know, just some aspect of like contrarianism where I'm just like, well, if the masses don't like it, then fuck that shit, I like it. Just to be like counterculture for literally no reason. I was eyeballing Reese's Chips Ahoy at the supermarket earlier, was looking for a famous Amos, but couldn't find it. Well, see, that's enough reason not to go forward or backwards in time. You never know when the Reese's Chips Ahoys will ever be back in stock other than right fucking now. Theremin for sale? Never been touched? Yo, you should fucking get that. Those things are sick. You have to have a fair amount of scratch stashed away to buy one of those bunkers, but fuck. I feel like my nose is all clogged the fuck up. It's annoying as shit. I feel like I'm getting worse. I read too many. Dude, honestly, I read too many fucking stories per video. And I make too many videos. I fucking quit. I'm done. I've had enough. I'm gonna go live at this X Point bunker. What if I did that? Would you guys still like me? If I stopped making content and just went and lived on a fucking prepper zone? Back to brutality. If you think about the Mongols or the Vikings, it makes you wonder how many people witness murders. Ancient history is wild when you really think, oh yeah, I mean, I can't imagine like having your village just invaded or your town invaded, you know, and just, I mean, even right now, it's happening in other parts of the world. There's wars all the fuck over everywhere. Not even the ones that are just like covered in the news. Like it's happening all the fucking time. Like the fight for resources and different ideas and like the brutality in there. It's just, this is humanity. This is our reality. Like the fact that we get to live in like some of these societies where we actually have peace, you know what I mean? Where you don't live under some like bloodthirsty monarch who like has rights over your spouse, you know what I mean? Or like just could wrongfully do whatever they wanted to you without some sort of legal repercussion. We're kind of fucking fortunate as shit. Defunct Ninja with the Two says, has Joel ever visited Centralia, Pennsylvania? Yes, I have. It's very boring. I think I've talked about it before. I've been to Centralia. It's boring. The town, it's like kind of like a hilly area. Like you're looking for like the smoke that's coming from what supposedly is like mines that are on fire. It's like barely visible, at least when I was there. People just use it as like a dump to like dump their trash and like everything, needles, whatever the fuck. It's gross. It's a gross town. Like there's some like random, you know, people that live there, and as do other random people that live out in the sticks and stuff, but it's not like romantic by any means. David with the two says, you'd still be my buddy Joel no matter what. Oh, thank you. All right, cool. See you guys. I'm ending the stream. I'll never see you again. See ya. See ya never. You have to have a fair amount of scratch stashed away to buy one of those bunkers, but I've heard people really do live there. People that have half lost their minds anyways. I could have been someone like that eating the roadkill. Someone with... Wait, I could have been someone like that? It could have been, probably. Arranged marriages are the only way I could get married. I mean, that shit still happens. Like, that still happens. Like, a lot of people bitch about their societies a lot of times, but it's like, you're on the internet. Like, you're typing in words and talking to me, and it's like, it's ending up in your ears in, like, less than 30 seconds. And some places have, like, no latency at all. Like, that shit is fan-fucking-tastic. And it's like magic. It's literally just, we're playing with magic, and we have no fucking idea how it works. It's wild, dude. I think every day people should just, instead of bitching about stuff on Twitter, they should count their fucking blessings. Like, for real. For real, for real. FRFR. Joel, will there be gaming at your compound? There's probably not. We probably have shitty Wi-Fi, so we'd be screwed and just have to play checkers. Checkers! Or solitaire. And they're like, Jesus Christ, Joel, you ate all the fucking peanut butter again. We're saving that. I could have been someone... Wait, I could have been... It could have been, sorry. It could have been someone like that, eating the roadkill. Someone with too much money and not enough brains who had decided to train themselves for the end of the world. But I can almost guarantee that by eating raw roadkill like that, the only thing they'd be preparing for is their own grave. I use quite a sophisticated GPS system in my truck, meaning I'm able to track and review my journeys in some pretty amazing detail. So when I had enough bars on my cell phone, I called 911 to let them know that there was some crazy person eating roadkill along 73, and passed on the rough location of where I'd spotted them. I didn't do it to be a narc or anything. I mainly did it because whoever was obviously... I didn't do it to be a narc or anything. I mainly did it because whoever it was obviously needed some serious help. That and the obvious danger they pose to any regular people who might be fortunate. Damn, dude, I keep seeing words that don't exist. What the fuck is wrong with my brain? Crunchy and creamy. Yeah, I love the crunchy peanut butter for sure. Dude, they need to make I don't know, peanut butter spreads, but with a nice mix. Hey, Anthony Esposito with the 5. Jesus, I'm a doctor, not a peanut butter farmer. That would be sick. I want to go live on your farm. Thank you, Anthony. Good to see you. Joy, I agree that a lot of us are extremely lucky. A lot of people, even kids, are in need of a hell of a lot of support. Yeah, I don't know. It's always strange to me. I'm in some fashions, I feel like this is peak society. Humanity has reached its peak, where there's just so much readily available food, shelter. All of our needs are met. Now, granted, that does create other existential crises within our mind that kind of pull away our purpose at times or make us feel purposeless. But the fact that we, even from being able to have all those needs met, get to decide where we get to spend our time after that, in the form of pursuing arts and entertainment, that's fucking weird. That never happened ever. You go back in history, it did, but it was a lot harder to do. You know what I mean? It's really strange. But at the same time, I also bitch when my Wi-Fi goes out, so. But, fuck that shit. Why isn't it working? It should be working 100% of the time. That and the obvious danger they pose to any regular people who might be unfortunate enough to bump into them while they're in the mood to eat raw roadkill. I just can't imagine what would possess anyone to do something like that. I mean, how close to insanity or desperation do you have to be to just shovel some dead animal's raw guts into your mouth like that? I later had an uncle tell me about feral humans, like this one girl who escaped her abusive parents in the 70s, and when the authorities found her, she was growling like a dog or something. He thought maybe the guy was like that, just totally feral, and had maybe just adapted to eating raw meat like that. I'll file that one under one of the less believable explanations, and the truth is, I don't really think I want to know what was going through their head. Does neighbor scream when your Wi-Fi goes out? Yeah, they were using it. I'm I was wondering why it's so slow. They've been slurping it all up. Anthony with the 5 says Sunrise Skater Kids, First World Tragedy. It's a band, funny song. Oh, nice.
Hey, listen.
First World Tragedy. First World Tragedy. Thank you for the 5, Anthony. And DS, TMO with the 2 says the simulation is glitching and putting word in. Yeah.
Listen.
My eyeballs. Joel is the GOAT at narrating, in my opinion. We are not talking about the same thing. Oh. What are you guys talking about? I need to know everything. Report in. Let me know what the people are discussing. I need constant surveillance on everyone in the chat. Also, we're at 600 people. Hello, hello. Joel's Old Timers is acting up. It is. It's getting wild. Too much diet soda. Okay. So, we have read a solid amount of these stories, but we still got some more to go, and I think these are the true crime ones. MT with the 5 says, my friend just moved back to Vegas from Pennsylvania. He couldn't even last through 2 seasons. Didn't even get a chance to visit them in the summer. Bro, I always think that. I'm like, if I ever move somewhere that just like has warm weather all the time, I really do wonder what life would be like. You know, because I'll be real with you here. Like, winter sucks wieners, dude. It's not fun. Like, winter is not cool. And like, especially seasons around now where it like starts to become warm and then just suddenly doesn't, and you're just like, what the fuck? It's like confusing. You know, you're like, it gets dark earlier, it's cold, you're depressed, and all you want to do is sleep and eat and get fat, you know. But then I always think to myself, like, what would it be like if you lived down in Florida where it's just nice all the fucking time, or California or Vegas or wherever the fuck. And, you know, granted, Vegas is very hot, where it's like 190,000 degrees just on, like, the asphalt. But, oh yeah, and Hawk gets, like, 1 day of summer a year, and it gets up to, like, 52 up in his nest.
Hey, listen.
Josh with the 2 says, I recently lost my leg in your videos. Oh my gosh, Josh, I'm sorry to hear that. I do hope, my friend in, high school, he lost his leg in a motorcycle situation, and you know, it was very hard for him, and I'm once again very sorry to hear that. It was very hard for him, but man, you know, once he got his prosthetic and got everything going, like, he was pretty much operating at, you know, 100% capacity, and now he makes a lot of pirate jokes and stuff. But yeah, don't let it get you down, man. That's just all life is, really. It's just taking the setbacks and keep moving forward. And yeah, sorry to hear that, but you will get through this. Anything over 70 is too hot for me. Dude, I love, like, 70s, 80s, even 90s. I don't even care. I just want to feel warm. I, like, want to be able to, like, walk out at nighttime in my underwear and then scream and howl at the fucking moon. And just dig into guts. Southern horror compilations. Yeah, there's gotta be. I think I've definitely done quite a few southern state stories. Florida is heavily overrated. No, for sure. For sure. I know it is. I've been there a few times and I'm like, this is kind of like a little bit tacky. You know, but at the same time, like, goddamn, nice weather is nice. Hello, Pradeep. How are you, buddy? He is roved, and he's here to smash his... Also, it's really cute. Whenever I come home, Pradeep will, like, look down over the steps, and if he, you know, when he sees me, he'll, like, immediately, like, smash his face into one of, like, the step railings. Because, I don't know, I almost feel like that's kind of like how dogs, you can tell when they're excited, but, like, a cat being excited to see someone, I don't know, they do, like, a little bit more nuanced movements, and his is, like, smashing his face into stuff to be almost like he wants to smash his face into me, but he's so cute. Oh, fuck. He's heavy. No, he's not heavy, actually. He's a little boy. I mean, really, Joel, a few on-sale outdoor heaters, and I see your nighttime gut eating and howling whilst in your underwear kink becoming real. I didn't say it was a kink, but now that we're here. Anthony with a 5 says, so, you can always walk outside in your underwear. There's only a few things stopping you. Not wearing shoes and your neighbors. Yeah. Those goddamn pesky neighbors always be calling the commissioner. Oh, push-up time. Fuck. Okay, we're at 32 push-ups, aren't we? This is gonna be rough. Alright, I gotta stay confident. Because if I don't, I'll give up. Haters of this is, what are your predictions for the world by 2050? Well, there will be a point of singularity where man meshes with machine.
Hey, listen.
You won't be able to afford a house. You'll live in a pod. You'll eat fucking bugs. I don't fucking know, dude. It's not great. Just start storing up peanut butter now. Pradeep, what are you doing, buddy? Ow. Oh shit, Pradeep is creating like static electricity through my legs. It's kind of not good. Or maybe it's, I don't know, because I can sometimes feel it in my headphones and shit. I'm so bored that I'm playing GTA 5 from the beginning. Dude, for real though, GTA 5, I never beat GTA 5. I actually want to like watch it. You are crazy to everyone who cannot manipulate you. I feel like that sounds like severe manipulative words. Bugs do be hitting though, yeah. Just open your drawer, pull out a handful. Easy protein as they glide right down like Timon and Pumbaa. Okay. Wait, does anybody know how many? What the fuck? Dude, I call Pradeep a trash cat because he's always fucking digging through the trash. Okay, 32. Ric Flair impression. Woo! Woo! My friend always used to do that. He would like whack his hands and whack our chest and go, woo! I never watched wrestling though much. Yeah, with a snake you can't get static. Okay. Let's go. 32 pushy uppies. Oh. Fucking shit. It's 33 this time. Last time it was 32. No fucking way. It's a rite of passage. Alright. We got this. We got this. We got it. Can you hear me? Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Fuck. Fuck that shit. Why do you guys make me do that? This is your fault. Holy shit. Holy shit. Daddy is home. Let's do some push-uppy uppies. Joel's on the East Coast time, so after midnight. Yeah, it's 12. Oh, wow. I felt way later than it is, but I do gotta go to sleep after this. Get that pump. I'm gonna squeeze a number 2 pencil between my tits and fucking smash it. Dude, it's getting too easy for you, bro. That wasn't easy. I sound like the guy from Malcolm in the Middle. I don't know. I think we're reaching maximum capacity. I think I could do 40, but it would be like really... Anthony with it too. I heard some clap push-up. Yeah, I was doing claps. That's why it's so hard. Proof? Bro, you wish you could see proof. Sometimes you just gotta have faith.
Hey, listen.
You swole, yeah. I mean, we're getting there. I am kind of getting better at the push-ups overall. I think it does help, but holy shit, though. What am I bitching about? I don't even know. I'm fine. Okay. Where's Maribel? I think Maribel was in the chat earlier, or no? I don't even remember. Who's awesome with Elden Ring? Yo, that was the hot commodity for a while. Tits of steel. Okay. That story was about roadkill. That story was about bees. Pradeep's over there eating some... Oh, I saw him eat a bug yesterday. Like a centipede. Oh no, what happened was I looked over and he threw up just out of nowhere. Just like... And I was like, what the fuck? And then like, I didn't notice, like, I thought it was just like a typical hairball situation. But then all of a sudden I saw like one of those fucking centipedes like running across the floor. I was like, holy shit. He ate a big fucking centipede bug and then just threw it up. It's really funny. Can you do up and down planks? Is that just like, what is that? Is that kind of like downward dog? Downward doggy style. And push-ups for the Lord.
Listen.
Melina with a 1, thank you. A pity tip for the push-ups. I appreciate it. No need to do. This is helping me. I need more spiders in my house, to be honest. Orchid update. My orchid's doing good. It's chilling up there. Doesn't need much. Shadow dancing with shadow people. He ate it live? Not live. Oh, no. Yeah, the bug was live. I thought you meant like on stream. No. But yeah, the bug was live and he just threw it the fuck up instantly. I think because he just didn't know what to do. He's like, swallowed it and just yarfed it up. Squats suck when you're cramping. Yeah. Wait, so you alternate between high and low planks. Oh, like on your elbows and then on your like extended arms out, almost like push-up, like extended push-up position. Yeah, did anybody do the push-ups with me? Hey, Lex, relax. It's good to join your live again. Makes me happy, so thank you. You're welcome. Good to see you. Well, yeah, I need more spiders in my house because they kill... I think they kill the centipede guys. I don't know. I just like to think that when I see a spider, I'm like, oh, they're helping. But they're not. They're just trying to kill me when I'm fall asleep. Your cat jumped 3 feet in the air and caught a fly in their mouth. That's awesome. I remember I told this story before, but like Pradeep is not a good jumper. But we took care of my one friend's cat before, and he was looking at these mattresses that were standing like, you know, up against a wall. And he was just staring at him like he was going to jump, you know, like wiggling his tail and shit. And I'm like, yeah, right, buddy. Not going to happen. And as I said that, he fucking like launched himself like 8 feet in the air in this one room at my old place. And it was fucking crazy. I was like, why the fuck can't Pradeep jump? Pradeep, like, I need to buy Pradeep some, like, Jordans or something. Some kitty Jordans.
Listen.
They eat cockroaches. Well, yeah, I don't think we have any cockroaches around here, at least. Well, we do, but not, mainly just at restaurants, I guess. Who knows? Maybe I do and I have no idea. Anthony, thank you for the $20 Reno. For bugs, there's a salt gun. Now twerk. It's not the... I can. But I forget what the twerk threshold is. But my friend bought a salt gun. They're pretty fucking wild. Wild. As long as it's not poisonous, spiders are very helpful. I'm terrified of black widows, but any other spiders I'm okay with. Yeah. Thankfully no black widows around here. We do have brown recluse. I don't see them too often, and I don't think they're very territorial or anything like that, but obviously you wouldn't want one in your shoe or some shit like that, you know. Spiders are Iktomni the trickster. Where do I live? I just live in Pennsylvania. Move to Australia and we'll donate you some spiders. There's enough to go, I bet, yeah. Those huntsmans. Big ones. God, sorry. Okay. That one. I'm just reading through the stories to make sure I got everything because I kind of had to do them out of order with the fucking true crime stuff. Okay. Here we go. True crime. From 1975 to 1990, the American Southlands were stalked by one of the most abhorrent and vicious killers the country has ever known. He is thought to have tortured, violated, and murdered more than 50 different women and girls during his grotesque 15-year spree. And while many other killers would have been apprehended long before they reached such body count, the secret to this killer's success was his mobility. You see, not only was he constantly on the move using his 16-wheeler truck, but He also converted his soundproofed sleeper cab into a veritable torture chamber. This is the story of Robert Ben Rhodes, perhaps better known as the Truck Stop Killer. Born on November 22nd of 1945 in Council Bluffs, Iowa, Rhodes's formative years set him apart from most serial killers due to their relative normalcy. Although his father was a serving soldier in West Germany until his elementary school years, Rhodes's childhood seems to be objectively stable and wholesome. He was never abused, he never acted out, and by his teenage years, whatever trouble he got into is generally characteristic of a regular angsty teen. He was active and outgoing during his high school years, taking part in sports such as football and wrestling. He even regularly attended the Thomas Jefferson High School French Club and was apparently a rather proficient francophone. The aforementioned trouble involved juvenile arrests for public fighting and vehicle tampering, but I'm sure we can all agree that very few young men make it through their teenage years without getting into the occasional scuffle. It seems that darkness only entered Rhodes's life in 1964, the same year he enlisted in the U.S. Marines. It was around this time that his father was suddenly arrested by Council Bluffs police, and the local community was stunned when they learned it was on charges of inappropriately touching a 12-year-old girl. Then, just when it seemed that the situation couldn't get any worse, Rhodes's father took his own life before he could be tried. Following his father doing so, Rhodes entered something of a downward spiral, and his military conduct worsened to the point where in 1968, he was dishonorably discharged from the military for his involvement in a violent robbery. During the years that followed, Rhodes's existence was marred by his inability to settle into any kind of routine lifestyle. He briefly attended college but quickly dropped out. He then applied to join the Council Bluffs police force but had his application rejected. Damn. Honestly, I was doing so well on that. If it didn't say rejection and said rejected, I would have made it. Damn. Anthony with a 10. Apparently someone wants you to twerk, so if you can just add that 20 in. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. 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 Okay. I hope that was sufficient. Sorry, sometimes it's easier with the music. But thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you. Robert Ben Rhodes didn't kill my cousin. John Robert Williams did. He was known as the Big Rig Killer. Robert's killed with his girlfriend. Wow. Gee, sorry to hear that. It's crazy. DSTMO with the 2 says, I did them on the side of the road with you. Oh, really? Were you... That would hurt. I feel like gravel would go in your hands or something, but that's pretty hardcore. You're done. That was clapping. Yeah, I make it clap without hands. Oz, you know this. You know my skills. But it was a very lazy one. There's another trucker, soil killer. His name was... Oh, yeah. And him and his girl. Yeah. That's terrifying. And they killed... Jesus Christ. I'm sorry to hear that. Dude, my brother caught a murderer truck driver a while back. I have to ask who it was. He was hiding out at a little motel on the Michigan border when my brother was police chief. Holy shit. Hey, Cecilia with the 5 says, hey Joel, do you ever consider adopting another cat so Pradeep has a friend? I've thought about it, but like, when we had that one cat that we were taking care of, granted he was an adult and not a kitty, so I don't know if it makes much of a difference, but like, that cat that we were helping take care of, like, he would piss on so much random shit. He would just piss on it, and then like when he pissed on it, it's like that stuff's done. It's like that stuff would just be done. Like you would not be able to recover it. You'd not be able to get the smell out of it no matter how much you washed it. And it was kind of funny because he'd mainly do it to my old roommate. It never really did it to me, which I was thankful for. But at the same time, like, it was just like that. That in and of itself made him a not great cat. You know what I mean? Everything else about him, he was so sweet and nice and kind. And him and Pradeep, like, they would fight and stuff, but it was like, you know, good exercise for them. DS TMO says also, I can only do it 2 at a time and they're off. Oh, interesting. I wonder why that is. But either way, thank you. It was a lazy floppy twerk, and he'll never bring home the big bucks at the strip show with this lack of pride in his twerk work. I gotta put... Oh, it's the tunes. It's all about the tunes. I gotta have the right tunes to get me squirking. I've gotten cat pee smell out of stuff. Can't remember how I did it. May have been vinegar. Yeah, it just doesn't even seem worth it to me, you know what I mean? To introduce... Like, I would get a dog, but, like, to introduce another male... Maybe I would have to get a female cat? I don't know. Joel's literally talking to himself from his cat's view. He was very sane. And there I was, about to piss on a big pile of freshly clean garments. KJ with the 5 says, you are making my study for finals much more enjoyable, so thank you. Thank you, KJ. I hope they go well. I know a lot of people are starting to graduate and finish up this semester, so it's always a stressful time, so best of luck to you. Thank you. He briefly attended college, but quickly dropped out. He then applied to join the Council Bluffs police force, but had his application rejected due to his dishonorable discharge from the military. He subsequently found work in a variety of stores, supermarkets, warehouses, and restaurants, marrying and divorcing 3 different women in the process. One of these women, Deborah, recalls that Rhodes became horribly abusive once the flame of their romance burned out, and she found herself constantly rebuffing his attempts to introduce sadistic and masochistic activities to their relationship. Eventually, Rhodes found a form of employment that he could finally settle on, one that would take him far away from Iowa, all the pain, torment, and shame, and of his father's despicable inclinations, long-haul trucking. Rhodes later stated that he had been preying on hitchhikers and truck stop escorts. There are specific cleaners with enzymes that remove cat urine scent. Yeah, I mean, it's too late to now. I just don't want to I don't think I want another cat, you know what I mean? It just seems... I'll just wait till Pradeep is, 35, the oldest cat in history, and we'll get one whenever he passes when he's 70 years old. You like the background animation? Yeah, that's Robin's doing. Robin Mikalsen. Rhodes later stated that he had been preying on hitchhikers and truck stop escorts since the mid-1970s, but due to his mobility, he didn't come to the attention of authorities until 1990. It was in January of that year that Rhodes happened across a husband and wife hitchhiker couple named Patricia Walsh and Douglas Ziskowski. It was in January of that year that Rhodes happened across a husband and wife hitchhiker couple named Patricia Walsh. Also, speaking of which, these things actually help me sleep. They're called magnesium pills. I'm going to take some. Yeah, this is called LSD. They help me sleep. Joel, go to the dump 20 years ago, find your old cat piss stuff, and try the enzyme thing. Don't be wasteful. Alright. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. Pee on the floor with any cars, who watches, or what? People suck. What? Rhodes later stated that he had been preying on hitchhikers and truck stop escorts since the... See, I sometimes confuse myself by highlighting the parts that I had already read. Kitty roars, what's crappin'? Have I ever had sleep paralysis? Yeah, I did back in college. I didn't know if it was like actually something paranormal or if I was just stressed out. I was probably stressed out. Rhodes later stated that he had been preying on hitchhikers and truck stop escorts since the mid-1970s, but due to his mobility, He didn't come to the attention of authorities until 1990. It was in January of that year that Rhodes happened across a husband and wife hitchhiker couple named Patricia Walsh. I keep saying Walsh. Walsh. Patricia Walsh. Anthony with the 10 says, "You want a dog? I got a German Shepherd for you." Not Nico. My buddy can no longer take care of his dog. For medical reasons, he wants to give him a good home. Aw, that would be nice. I would really like to get like an ex-canine German Shepherd. I always thought that would be sweet, like one that's already like trained and shit, but it can also like kill people if we need it, if we need to, you know. If I suddenly decide to become a serial killer, you never know. You know, I might get bored one day. Can you imagine that? Imagine all the cool videos all the other creepypasta people would make about Let's Read, the YouTube serial killer. Boom, boom, boom. We all thought he was a trusted member of the community. He always had a funny joke to say, and some said that he was ripped. Fucking just absolutely shredded. And he was 6'9". He could dunk. He could 360 dunk. Unfortunately, he killed a lot of people, so that's sad. But yeah, go subscribe to his channel too. It's still up. This is called Magnesia. I'm going to smash his face on this table. What? What? It was in January of that year that Rhodes happened across a husband and wife. Fuck, man. This is the part in the video. You're seriously considering adopting a dog? Yeah, do it. Do it up. Me too. We can share one. You can have it 364 days of the year, and I'll just take it like here and there when I need a pet. It was in January of that year that Rhodes happened across a husband and wife hitchhiker couple named Patricia Walsh and Douglas Sikowski. Patricia and Douglas had been hitchhiking across the state of Texas and, by all accounts, had experienced a pleasant journey thus far. They had no reason to be suspicious of Rhodes, who seemed perfectly affable. God, fuck, man. I'm like hitting that point in my reading where like it's almost like a meter. Like I can keep talking, but eventually my squeaks start to increase in frequency, and it's annoying as fuck. Defunct with the 2 says, "What's your name? Let's kill." Oh, my serial killer name. Yeah, I guess like the squeaker. We all know him as the Squeaker. Every time he would kill one of his victims, the ones that survived, which was just one, by the way. It was just one that I let go specifically so they could tell stories about me later on, would say that his voice would characteristically squeak every time he became giddy with his tools. With his various blades. Alright. I'm giving away all my tactics. I can't fucking tell you guys anymore. They had no reason to be suspicious of Rhodes, who seemed perfectly affable when he first stopped to pick them up. Yet shortly after they continued along the hallway.
Listen.
Anthony with the 5 says, "Police departments generally let people adopt dogs from the academy if they are too nice and cannot graduate." Oh, that would be sick. I'd love to get like a nice police dog. His 12-inch tools. Oh, you guys are inspiring me. Stop it.
Yet shortly after they continued along the highway, the couple's nightmare began in earnest. It's not clear how Douglas was murdered, but when his body was found in Texas's Sutton County, it would not be positively identified until 2 years later. In the week that followed her husband's murder, Patricia Walsh was kept alive for 7 long days before she was finally killed. In that time, police suspect she was essentially used as a pleasure slave, kept bound and gagged in Rhodes' soundproof sleeper cab, and repeatedly tortured, Jesus Christ. And repeatedly tortured until he grew bored of her. Her body was then dumped in Millard County, Utah, and by the time her body found its way onto a coroner's table, she was barely recognizable. A month later, Rhodes snatched 18-year-old Shauna Holtz from the side of the highway, bundling her into his makeshift torture chamber, where she was tortured and kept prisoner for around 2 weeks. Miraculously, Shauna managed to escape I wanted to say activity, but it's captivity. Have you seen the video of the police dog when he hears cocaine? I think so. I think I've actually seen it. It's pretty funny. Miraculously, did I say Shauna or Shayna? I think Shayna. Is it spelled S-H? It's not. It's only a paragraph back. So this is the first time I've had to look something up, which is kind of badass. Sorry. I hope that's not too gross for people. It just happens. Shayna. Sorry. I had to set up a new phone. What a pain in the ass. Yeah, that shit is always annoying. Especially for like the authentication apps and all that shit, if you have like important stuff to worry about. Contact your local police station. Ask about it. Non-emergency line, that is. Yeah, call 911 and ask them if they have any cute dogs. Just kidding. Don't do that. Miraculously, Shayna managed to escape captivity and immediately rushed to inform law enforcement of her harrowing ordeal. She gave the police a detailed description of both Rhodes and the truck he was driving, and this led to the speedy detention of her attacker. However, when faced with actually pressing charges against Rhodes, Shayna suddenly began to have second thoughts. She told investigating police officers that she didn't think a jury would believe her story, and even when assured that the mountain of evidence would ensure a conviction, she refused to appear in court. "I don't see any good in filing charges," she said on record. "It's just going to be my word against his. If there was any evidence, I would file charges and sue him." Shayna was once again shown the massive amount of collated evidence and was told that... collated? Anthony is not a cop. Okay, good to know. So we can say whatever we want and not worry about getting arrested. You're good. He doesn't work for the Ministry of Truth. Collated. Okay, collated. Also, thank you for the 2. Shayna was once again shown the massive amounts of collated evidence and was told not a jury in the land would decline to convict Rhodes of his heinous and brutal actions, but still, she declined a court appearance. It's now believed that Shayna found the combination of fear and trauma to be completely and utter logically. I sometimes mix words together. Clara Jane May with the 2 says, "Anyone else having a bad, sad day?" Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure somebody here is probably also having one of those. But we are also very good at turning that frown upside down. Okay, that was supposed to sound nice, but it sounded evil.
Listen.
Crab people, crab people, crab people. It's now believed that Shayna found the combination of fear and trauma to be completely and utterly psychologically overwhelming. She may have believed that if cleared of the charges, that Rhodes would hunt her down to subject her to more of the same awful treatment. And if he did, she might not be fortunate enough to escape for a second time. 2 weeks after the kidnapping charges against Rhodes were dropped, 2 teenage runaways named Ricky Lee Jones and Regina K. Walters were attempting to hitchhike out of the Houston suburb of Pasadena. Rhodes spotted them, put on his facade of friendliness, and as the young couple climbed into the cab of his truck, their fate was sealed. Just like with Patricia Walsh and Douglas Sikowski, Ricky Lee Jones was murdered almost straight away, with his body being found on March 3rd of 1991 in Lamar County, Mississippi, whereas Walters was told she'd suffer the same fate unless she complied. The kidnapping of Regina K. is perhaps the most viscerally disturbing of Rhodes's murders, because in this case, there exists actual photographical evidence of his victim's final moments. The police would later seize photographs from Rhodes's home that depicted Regina Walters and other victims being forced to stand and sit in painful, stressful positions. Clara Jane May with the 5 says, I'm stuck at work, 4 months pregnant, and just struggling today, just trying my best. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but congratulations on the baby. That's awesome. And I hope everything's going well with that. But I'm glad you can be here, and you will get through this shift. And when you get home, somebody, I don't know who, but hopefully they do a foot massage. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Anyways, but thanks for the 5. The police would later seize photographs from Rhodes's home that depicted Regina Walters and other victims being forced to stand and sit in painful stress positions. These photographs are extremely disturbing as the horror etched into their faces is palpable. In Regina's case, the images show her having differing hair lengths with a variety of different bruises, suggesting that she had been held captive for a very long time, possibly even months. In addition to physical abuse and psychological torture, Regina was Anthony with the 10. It's a thing. Most people don't know about it because cops and stuff. Also, sad part, if they don't pass and they're not adopted, they get sent to the Pound or Humane Society. Oh, that's so sad. So they like specifically breed them to be trained to be cop dogs, and then, man, because I ran into a cop who had a canine unit around here, and I asked him about it, like about, you know, adopting ones that they don't need or whatever, and he was like, he like didn't know, and I'm like, how the fuck are you have a canine unit and not know? So I grabbed his gun and his pepper spray, and I took a defensive position. No, I'm sorry. But no, I just thought it was weird. I'm like, oh, come on, bro. In addition to physical abuse and psychological torture Regina was subjected to, Robert Ben Rhodes chose to cruelly taunt Regina's father in a series of anonymous phone calls. In the months after he kidnapped her, Rhodes would call his home or office and say things like, I made some changes. I cut her hair. During one phone call, Regina's father asked Rhodes to at least tell him if his daughter was alive or not. Rhodes reportedly responded with, Oh, she's alive all right. I've left her hung up in a barn somewhere, but you'll never find her. It was a lie. By the time the phone call was made, Regina was dead, killed in a manner which is almost sickening to recount. Almost too... Your boyfriend's uncle and aunt adopt elderly cop dogs. It's sweet but sad too. Oh, it's sweet though. It's just worrisome. I don't want her snooping in my yard. Wait, what are you talking about? Sorry. All of Joel's YouTube friends and fans were puzzled as to how he went from aspiring, achieving YouTuber narrator to cold-blooded killer. Yeah, some say it was boredom. Having conquered everything from YouTube to podcasting to the chilling app, the only next logical solution was blood. And by that, we mean he scraped his knee and it had a little bit of blood, and his mommy had to spray antiseptic on it. It stung. It stung. Ow. It stings. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is Jensen here? I have a fucking idea for a funny chills thing. Because he does that. Okay, if you see him, here's the idea. Remember that episode of Family Guy where Peter scrapes his knee and he's like, like after getting like the golden ticket or whatever, but instead he does the chills voice over top of it. It's like, I don't know. I just think that would be pretty funny. I always tell Jensen all these fucking like skit ideas. He never does them. It makes me sad. What is a water closet? Oh yeah, it's where you keep your pools that you can swim inside of a closet. There's nothing worse than getting pepper sprayed on your sweaty. Yeah, dude, I remember seeing like some cops doing training, and we got to watch from a distance, which was really strange that they weren't doing it at like a proper place. They were just doing it like at a local park, but they had to get pepper sprayed as part of their thing, and everyone could just like casually watch from a distance. And I'm like, what if this floats over into our eyeballs? But yeah, they would get pepper sprayed, and it looked really uncomfortable because they were like, ah, ah, ah. Have you heard that weird video of the Chills voice saying, "Have you ever farted a little too hard and poo-poo comes out of your booty?" Yeah, it's probably a Jensen video. I mean, dude, it's so annoying. Like, there's all these freaking people that take Jensen's like audio clips and then just put like, I don't know, some sort of visual stuff over it. Like, there's this one TikTok channel that literally just puts gameplay clips of some like extreme biking game, like doing flips off of jumps and shit, with Jensen's audio over it, and they have like a huge following. And I'm like, dude, you haven't done anything. You're literally just stealing somebody else's stuff. But I don't know. I guess he just doesn't want to cause a stir. But I would cause a stir. That shit's annoying. I bought the $5 tier, but canceled because just enough content, in my opinion, even though I do understand you don't have time, but it's paying $5 per story. Just friendly criticism, mate. Wait, what are you talking about? I bought the $5 tier, but then are you talking about Patreon, or are you talking about are you talking about like the YouTube membership thing? Because yeah, I mean, I guess it's like a bonus story a month, and they're usually like an hour long, and like the only option you have for YouTube is all members. Like, I think there's different tiers on that, but like the lowest tier membership is $5. So that's, I mean, I would make it lower on there, but yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, like the YouTube channel, and then like the chilling app and all the other shit that I do, it's just like I honestly don't think I could do any more content than I can with the members only content. Like, one of those videos is kind of a lot sometimes. Do you have any training in acting? Your voices and characters are always amazing. Oh, thank you. No, no training. I just always been a silly, goofy baka. Some reposted your scary animated video as one about a girl dreaming. Oh, maybe. Yeah, haters. Yeah, I apologize that there's not more content on the $5 tier. I do appreciate you giving it a whirl. Unfortunately, yeah, it's probably only ever just going to be like one bonus. I mean, you get early access on Patreon, which is cool with the $1, but yeah, as far as the $5 tier, it's always just going to be just the one bonus video a month, which is like an hour long. But it's just, I don't know, to produce any more content, I would go fucking nuts. Where's the video you reading the phone book? It's coming up. It's going to be here soon. It was a lie. By the time the phone call was made, Regina was dead, killed in a manner which is almost too sickening to recount. On the day of her execution, Regina was taken to a derelict piece of farmland where there existed a rotting, dilapidated shack. Rhodes had cut her long, flowing curls short, forced her into a long, black dress and heels, then told her to pose as if he was about to attack her. The photos Ben Rhodes took of her that day are easy to find online, and it's possible to be...
Wait, did I already talk about this story? With the photos with scary background. Remember that? Remember that one? Wasn't there like a photo where like it was taken like right before the one girl was killed or something? I think I covered this story in disturbing like story photos with disturbing backstories and stuff. I had an ancestor that died on a castle toilet. Some guy shoved a pike up the hole in his bum. Gross. Well, I guess this goes into more detail, I guess, like, because those ones were kind of like quick, so I guess this goes into like more detail about the killer itself rather than just the photo, but man, that's sad. It was a dream you had. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. Come on, fangirls. We need answers. The fangirls always got my back. Guys, I need you to dox everyone that opposes me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm literally kidding. I just see, like, I don't even know. What is it? Like the K-pop stands and, like, the Minecraft YouTuber stands. Like, they always just seem, like, psychotically... toxic and shit on Twitter, like with the doxing of people and all this weird stuff. I don't get it. I really don't get how you can like have some sort of like parasocial relationship with, you know, an internet personality to such a degree that you would like, I don't even know, like aggressively go after another random person online and like finding their information specifically just to, I don't know, it's just weird, abnormal. Don't do that. Don't like me that much. Maybe for the bonus story it should have maybe the background music like in the podcast and sound effects like how you did at some point in the podcast too, then it will be more worth it. Oh no, that's true. It's just like with the Patreon, it's just like easier to like quickly edit it together and then get it up because it's usually the first they kind of did have it like usually it's up on Patreon on the $5 tier earlier, but yeah, like the YouTube one does eventually get like a video with edited music and stuff, but yeah, I do appreciate the input though. Anthony with the 5 says, yeah. Wait, number 11, a water closet is a pooper and it's just that no sink. Okay. K-pop fans are that crazy. I think K-pop fans are that crazy. I don't dig into it too much, but I've just heard stories. Fandoms turn into cults. Good. We got the Buttersock call. You got an NFL team? I do, but I can't say. It's the one thing that I won't reveal. I can't create enemies. The photos Ben Rhodes took of her that day are easy to find online, and it's possible that assured she would... And it's possible that assured she would be safe if she only... The photos Ben Rhodes took of her that day are easy to find online, and it's possible that... I assume they're trying to say that he assured... It is possible that she was assured she would be safe if only complied with request. What the fuck? I don't understand, like, what the it's like, you think that the first part of the sentence would have anything to do with the second part of the sentence, but it doesn't. The photos Ben Rhodes took of her that day are easy to find online, and it's possible that assured she would be safe if she only... Alright.
The photos Ben Rhodes took of her that day are easy to find online, and it's possible that she was assured that she would be safe if she only complied with the request. It was a lie. Once Rhodes had finished taking photographs of Regina in her meek and awkward poses, he wrapped a piece of metal wire around her neck, then strangled the life out of her. Thankfully, Rhodes would be apprehended a short while later, denying him the chance to kill again. But it was undeniably a frighteningly close call for his latest prospective. I'm not a fan bird, but one of my relatives who turned into a feather duster. True story. Your voice is pretty the chat keeps moving, like shit's getting deleted. It's fucking weird. Your voice is pretty awesome. I really enjoy your stories. I'm glad to hear you out there tonight. Oh, thank you, Sharon. But it was undeniably a frighteningly close call for his latest prospective victim. On the early morning of April 1st, 1990, Arizona Highway Patrol Trooper Mike Miller discovered a truck with its hazards lights on. Hazards lights. Oh my god, this is so fucking long. On the early morning of April 1st, 1990, Arizona Highway Patrol Trooper Mike Miller discovered a truck with its hazard lights on at the side of the interstate. Deciding to stop to see if the driver needed any assistance, Miller parked his patrol car at the edge of the road, then got out to investigate. When he drew level with the truck's sleeper cab, he heard a faint sound coming from inside. Then when he opened the small hatch, he was greeted by an ear-splitting scream. Inside was a naked and bloodied Kathleen Vine, whose arms were restrained by a pair of handcuffs which had been grafted to the ceiling of the sleeper cab. When Rhodes emerged from the driver's seat of the truck, he told the horrified Trooper Miller that he had simply found butter on pancakes. Thank you. Man, pancakes sound so fucking good. Dude, one of my favorite... Oh, I thought I saw a spider. One of my favorite fucking things to do is to eat food. No, but to go to, like, I don't know, late night diners and shit and just shovel. Well, I mean, like, granted, I probably was drunk at the time, but back in the day, in college, just like late night diner trips when you're drunk with your friends. Obviously, we took a Uber or taxi there, but man, pancakes are fucking cool. Dickie Miller was the assistant detective of Perry Clifton. Wait, what's that? The BBQ is great. Weirdest dish I'd seen was san nakchi, a live squid. They just chop it up real fast and it's still wriggling on your dish. Yikes. Yikers. You keep me alive during the long, shitty shifts. Thank you. Welcome, Ethan. Good to see you. 2 a.m. hangover special. Yes, yes. When Rhodes... Oh, also one side thing I found out. My friend was reading, like, we were like, how the fuck do cows get so muscular, yet they eat, no protein. They eat just grass and shit and hay or whatever. And come to find out that there's some type of bacteria in cows' stomachs that convert all that grain and shit into amino acids, which amino acids are the building blocks of, like, protein. And then they use that to, like, build their bodies and build muscle and stuff. And I'm like, that's fucking fascinating. I was almost thinking, like, where can I get these bacteria? When did Ubering start? Oh, man. It's been around a long time. Sup, Scuts? I'm in bed with some pasta. Hell yeah, let's go. They are the protein, they don't care, yeah. Google search history, why do cows be so jacked? No, for real, though. That's literally what we typed and got that.
Meow.
When Rhodes emerged from the driver's seat of the truck, he told the horrified Trooper Miller that he had simply found Kathleen at the side of the highway like that and was in the process of seeking help for her. Thankfully, Miller didn't buy Rhodes' ruse, and the officer drew his gun on him, disarming and arresting him in the process. It was only when Rhodes was in police custody that a homicide detective was able to connect him to a string of disappearances across America's southern states, and not long after, a charge of murder was added to an already extensive list of offenses, including aggravated assault, violating women. They say carnal violation, but I just don't like that term, carnal violation. It just doesn't have like, because I don't want to like say sexual assault in like a video, you know what I mean? I don't even know if it would make a big deal, but I'm just not a fan of like, I've been using the term carnal assault as like a substitute, and I feel like it's just kind of like, let's see, synonyms.com. Oh shit. Oh my god. Ooh. Terry King with the 80 Australian buccarinos from down under. For me and Concerned Turtle to work, baby. Yes. It's much easier with the music. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Yeah, peaches. Get the peaches in the chat going. Thank you. I appreciate that. That came out of nowhere too. It's just like blop, 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 blah, 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 blah. They don't like you to use sexual assault in the video. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because it's like obviously that happens or it's implied, and I guess I could just like skip over that charge or whatever, but like saying anything related to sex in videos is usually demonetizable, and it's just like, you know how that goes. But thank you again, Terry. Thank you so much. You are a true king. Sexual assault. Let's see. Oh wow, yeah, carnal abuse. That is a term that exists. Ravishment, unlawful. I guess violation. I don't know. Wanton acts of carnality. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, I feel bad, like even kind of like sugarcoating it, even though it's obviously fucked up, but I just like for, content purposes. Joel, you almost sound like a Tribe Called Quest. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I love that. I love a Tribe Called Quest, and I would, maybe that just got like logged into my brain from listening to them in the past, but I do find that I say that from time to time, and that must have been where it's from. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Oh my god. In Britain they say interfered with, like they had been interfered with. Oh man, I feel like that downplays it even further. Unlawful assault. Yeah, we'll just something like that. Unlawful violation. I don't know. It was only when Rhodes was in police custody that a homicide detective was able to connect him to a string of disappearances across America's southern states. And not long after, a charge of murder was added to an already extensive list of offenses, including aggravated assault and unlawful imprisonment. It wasn't until 1994 that Rhodes was convicted of the murder of Regina K. Walters, and as punishment, he was sentenced to life without parole at Menard Correctional Center in Chester, Illinois. Just over a decade later, he was extradited to Utah to be tried for the deaths of Candace Walsh and Douglas Sikowski, but charges were dropped after the families of the victims claimed that testifying in court would be far too painful to bear. They were reassured that Rhodes was about to be extradited to Texas. What about Outkast? Oh, I love Outkast. The Love Below was like one of my favorite albums back in the day, and the fact that you could buy it with another album with Like, what was Big Boy's album? I forget what his was. I guess it wasn't as memorable, but it was fun because it was like the Love Below was more of like a theatrical experience, and sort of there was some like hip hop elements, obviously, like Hey Ya was on there, but it was like a lot more theatrical. Whereas Big Boy was more about like the hip hop stuff. Jacob Bowling with the 10 says, I massaged Stephanie's feet yesterday, and she enjoyed. Tomorrow, Stephanie will be 16 weeks pregnant with my daughter. I love her, and I'm Sergeant of the Butterstock Cult Council. Hell yeah, brother. Thank you for the 10. Alright, they were reassured. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so fresh, so clean. Do, 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 do. Dope as meat. Fresh, so clean. Man. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize until... Wait, is it 1,000 times or until I die? I forget. Yeah, Speaker Box. Oh, fuck. Yeah, Speaker Box was good too, but yeah, Love Below was my shit. How's the whistling going? It's not great, but it's there. Oh, man. Stankonia on vinyl. Nice. That's awesome. Dude, I might get Love Below on vinyl. That would be dope. 1 trillion times. I have ugly feet because I've had... Oh, sorry. I won't read that. Still weird having Sir Blocks a lot in charge of community outreach. What are you talking about? They were reassured that Rhodes was about to be extradited to Texas to be tried for the murder of Ricky Lee Jones, and in this case, Rhodes pleaded guilty to his death in exchange for a second life sentence, ensuring he would never again see the light of day. Rhodes is now 76 years old and is still detained at the Menard Maximum Security Prison, but although he has previously claimed as many as 50 victims, authorities have said it's unlikely he'll ever stand trial again. That means it's impossible to know just how many missing people Rhodes is responsible for, and that there are scores of family across Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Utah who will never truly know what happened to their loved ones. It's also not entirely clear why Rhodes chose to kill in the first place. Perhaps it all stems from the anger and shame he felt regarding his father's deviance and eventually him taking his own life, that killing the innocent was his way of getting back at the world that he felt had wronged him while he was still in the prime of his life. The only thing we know for certain is that Rhodes was imbued with a rare, distilled variety of evil that led him not only to torture those he would go on to kill, but also to reach out and torture their families as well. Why am I so perfect? I don't know. I certainly am not. Far from it, far from it. Okay, yeah, Robert Rhodes. Wait, okay, there's another one. Okay, here we go. Here we go! What time? Oh, it's 1 o'clock. What the fuck happened? Where did the time go? The children of the world can see. Everyone is a beautiful, horrible mess. This is true. Some more than others. Let's join the caravan of love. Don't crap on my sheets, please. They're not proper. Alright.
Have you heard of the one named Crew? They only dropped one album, but it's sick. Crew? I don't think so. I might, if I heard maybe one of their songs, but if they're pretty new, probably not. It's one here too. Must live on the East Coast. I do, yeah. Wonder what I look like. Just a stinky fart. Did you ever fart? That's me. Coming out to say, hey.
Some serial killers are caught entirely by accident, some after long and tiresome investigations. Yet there is a special breed of multiple murderers whose careers creating cadavers comes to an end when they hand themselves into the police. And one of those is Wayne Adam Ford. Born on December 3rd of 1961, Ford was born the second son of an American father and German mother in Petaluma.
Petaluma. Okay, cool. You punch your boyfriend during sleep. Oh my god. You must hate him. Absolutely hate him. Wait, it's 9:10 p.m. here and the sun won't set for another hour? Wait, really? I guess that makes some sense. That's crazy.
Born on December 3rd of 1961, Ford was born the second son of an American father and German mother in
Fuck, I was like thinking of another word as I walked up to it. Annie Spencer with a 10 says, spending money makes me happy. Take my money home. We hope you're well. Thank you, Annie. Good to see you. How have you been? And Blue Rooster, welcome back for 10 months. And the Buttersock Call says, what up, Dank Daddy? What is crappening? They had one called, it's kind of popular, called Just Another Case, and another one called Pronto. There was this one band I used to freaking love that was like within that jazz hip hop scene. Diggable Planets. Do you guys remember Diggable Planets? Man, I used to love Diggable Planets. They were pretty cool.
Born on December 3rd of 1961, Ford was born the second son of an American father and German mother in Petaluma, California. Ford's personal problems began when he was just 10 years old, with his parents' messy divorce having a deeply adverse psychological effect on him. After just a few years of high school, Ford dropped out and enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps, where he served for 6 years before receiving an honorable discharge in 1985. It was an amicable split, as increasing psychological decline. I'd love Crew. Okay, cool. I'll check them out. Thank you for the suggestion. It was an amicable split, as increasing psychological decline necessitated several stints in psychiatric hospitals. He grew to hate the Marine lifestyle, and the Corps had no interest in holding on to someone with increasingly dangerous deviancies. Ford went through 2 marriages, both of which ended in divorce, and like many others who failed to settle into any kind of set routine or lifestyle, he became a long-haul trucker to make ends meet. It was during his career as a trucker that he began to have scrapes with the law, but nothing ever seemed to stick. In just a few years, Ford was accused of beating and robbing an escort and several other incidents of vicious violence and animal cruelty. But no one could have suspected just how evil and deranged he truly was. Finally, on November 3rd of 1998, Ford walked into the Humboldt County Sheriff Department in Eureka, California, and told the deputy on the front desk that they needed to arrest him. When asked why they needed to arrest him, Ford simply reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a Ziploc bag containing several severed breasts from a handful of different victims.
Wait. Breasts? In a Ziploc bag? In his jacket pocket? Do they mean nipples? Let me look this guy up for real quick to make sure it's not, if they don't mean nipples. Because I feel like, how could you fit breasts into a bag. I feel like they gotta mean nipples. 1 second. Alright, okay. Arrest and trial. Former turned himself. He walked in Humboldt Sheriff, California, with a woman's severed breasts in his. Wait. Did I read that wrong? I thought they said several. Or maybe they just meant a severed breast. My bad. Sorry. He. Containing. What? How did he have that many? Several? How did he keep it in Ziploc bags? I'm just fucking confused. Like, what? Here on Wikipedia it says, Ford turned himself in. He walked into the Humboldt County Sheriff Department in Eureka, California in November 1998 with a woman's severed breast in his pocket. And then there's a link. Wait, where's the reference? Belle Rachel Wayne Ford, the remorseful serial killer. Oh, I see. It's like a true crime library that links to nowhere. Containing, interesting. I don't like. I just see gallon bags. What? Like a big trash bag? Nothing wrong with your art. Oh, it just seems like that would be so much like tissue to carry around. I don't know. I'm just gonna. I mean, it sounds like in Wikipedia it was just a singular breast. So, when asked why they needed to arrest him, Ford simply reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a Ziploc bag containing the severed breast of one of his victims. He then told a gathering of horrified deputies that he had murdered 4 women between October of 1997 and November. Why did my voice just suddenly get hoarse out of nowhere? He then told a gathering of horrified deputies that he had murdered 4 women between October of 1997 and November of 1998. Following this confession, he was swiftly arrested and detained. For some reason, even with Ford's detailed confession, it took until June of 2006 to find him guilty on 4 counts of first-degree murder. His haunting handiwork was so utterly harrowing that, even with a guilty plea, Ford was sentenced to death for his crimes. He's currently on the death row of California's San Quentin State Prison, but thanks to the moratorium on executions in California, he is likely to go the way of his victims anytime soon. Oh wait, he is unlikely. But thanks to the moratorium on executions in California, he is unlikely to go the way of his victims anytime soon. Moratorium. Do you guys know anything about this moratorium? They're like, are they just like holding off on executions for now or something like that? That's weird. Or just kind of random. Are they like trying to change the law or something? Oops. Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. Man, I've been listening to you for a few years now. Love it. Keep it up, my boy. Oh, thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. Thank you. It's per state capital punishment. Yeah, but what's the moratorium? Does that just mean, like, there's some sort of law in place to, like, specifically within, you know what I mean? Like, specifically in California, like, they can't execute anybody? It was a foggy Saturday night on July 25th of 1953 when 30-year-old interstate trucker Lester Woodward pulled into an unlit gravel parking lot to get a few hours of sleep.
It was something Woodward had done 100 times before as he drove along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and common practice among long-haul truckers to lessen their exhaustion and lower the Wait, what is it? It was something Woodward had done 100 times before as he drove along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and common practice among long-haul truckers to lessen their exhaustion and lower the chances of serious traffic accidents. The next morning, a fellow trucker found himself lost on the same stretch of highway, and upon seeing Woodward's truck still parked in the same secluded spot, he decided to pull in to ask directions. When he drew level with Woodward's cab, he saw the man slumped against the dashboard and called out to stir him from his slumber. Woodward didn't respond, and that's when the lost trucker noticed the single bullet hole near the man's hairline. Woodward had been executed with a single bullet, fired from a .32 caliber revolver. Police speculated the killer had quietly pulled his own vehicle into the secluded parking lot before stealthily mounting the truck's cab to fire the fatal shot. They also suspected that his speedy getaway had caused a 6-car pileup nearby, one of which had caused several others to lose their lives that night. Since Woodward's wallet was completely empty, police suspected that the murder was little more than a violent robbery, but just 3 days later, the shooting of another trucker would suggest that the killer's motive was considerably more sinister. 30 miles east of the spot Lester Woodward was murdered, 39-year-old Harry Pitts. Holy shit, that guy's name is Harry Pitts. That's fucking awesome. "30 miles east of the spot Lester Woodward was murdered, 39-year-old Harry Pitts took a break from making stops for the Baker Drive-Away Company when he pulled into a similarly isolated parking lot to catch some shut-eye. The following morning, a co-worker of Pitts spotted his rig sitting idle in the lot and pulled up alongside him to shoot the breeze. The sight that greeted him was truly horrifying. While he slumbered, Pitt had been shot through the mouth, leaving a gruesome gaping wound in his cheek. The bullet had then ripped through his neck, severing his spinal cord and killing him instantly. Ballistics analysis confirmed that the bullet was a .32 caliber round fired by the same revolver that had killed Lester Woodward. Tire tracks suggested that following Pitt's execution, the killer had screeched away from the scene of the crime, much in the same manner as he had the previous one. However, in this case, there was no signs of robbery, as all of Pitt's valuables were left on his person. This was down to one of two possibilities. Either the killer had been interrupted while rifling through Pitt's pockets to retrieve his wallet, or robbery was never his intention in the first place. The latter left police with a horrifying prospect, and when no witnesses came forward to confirm they'd stumbled across the crime scene, it was all but confirmed. When news of the killings reached the ears of truckers in the region, it terrified them. The idea that such a monster would randomly target them while they were at their most vulnerable was almost too much to bear, and truckers began taking certain precautions in order to remain safe. They armed themselves with firearms and melee weapons, and began traveling in pairs or in whole convoys to deter any potential hackers. Fuck. They armed themselves with firearms and melee weapons, and began traveling in pairs or in whole convoys to deter any potential attackers. When the time came to sleep, terrified truckers piled into the parking lots of diners or service stations, and although many a joke was made regarding their circling of the wagons, the fear among them was deadly serious. Some refused to believe that something so horrifying was occurring, and suggested the victims were deliberately targeted. "I think it's a guy with a grudge," one told a reporter. "Maybe he got the wrong guy the first time and then went back to get the right one the second time. I can't make any sense that he'd go around shooting just anybody." Yet the very next day, law enforcement announced a very different theory. "There is a maniac loose on the turnpike," said one homicide detective, following the shooting of yet another trucker in Ohio. Terror gripped the turnpike, and an increased number of High Patrol officers. Maybe Highway Patrol. Jacob with the 5. Sunday, Stephanie and I will be dancing together at our church. Stephanie and I haven't danced together in 3 years. What the fuck? What are you waiting for, Jacob? Get to dancing, baby. Let's fucking go. What dance are you going to do? Are you going to do the Macarena? You guys should do the Macarena together as a couple. There truly is no greater love than Wana Makambandu Maka 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 3 Macarena. Juka Paka Paka Laka Buka Buka Buka. You know what I'm talking about? JH with the 2 says, "Come on, mother trucker. Let's go." Thank you, JH. Terror gripped the
Hey, listen.
Terror gripped the turnpike, and an increased number of highway patrol officers kept watch along the roads. They were tasked walking all alone. They were tasked waking. Oh, they were tasked with waking all alone. They were tasked with waking all lone slumbering drivers, sometimes telling them to move along, other times just to make sure that they'd not been executed. As expected, the media jumped on the story, capitalizing on the mortal fears of truckers everywhere as they dubbed the mysterious killer the Turnpike Phantom. Victim number 3 was 36-year-old John Shepard, and just like the other victims, he was shot dead in the cab of his truck that he slept by the road. He was shot dead in the cab of his truck. He was slept by the roadside. He was slept by the roadside? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Can one twerk at a church dance? I don't think God's gonna stop you. He might strike you down, though. You never know. Can't risk it. Next stream, someone please count how much money is spent on obnoxious info. Oh, that's probably like maybe 30 cents. I have eaten so many veggies over the past few days. Hell yeah. You gotta stay healthy. He was shot dead in the cab of his truck. As he slept. We'll just say as he slept. As he swept. Victim number 3 was there. Fuck, man. Jacob with the 5 says, "Joel, I'm worried about Stephanie losing our daughter. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just being paranoid." Yeah, probably. Victim number 3. Fuck, man. I can't even read this. Victim number 3 was 36-year-old John Shepard, and just like the other victims, he was shot dead in the cab of his truck as he slept by the roadside. Yet miraculously, Shepard survived the attack and would later participate in a press interview from the hospital bed he was recovering in. A noise like a firecracker went off in my head, and I reared up and yelled for my mother. I thought I was at home, he told reporters. Somehow the bullet intended to kill him had merely shattered his jaw. Then as he attempted to stem the bleeding, he heard a high-pitched male voice call out to him from outside. "I'm out of gas, I need money," the voice said. At the time, Shepard didn't even realize he'd been shot and assumed that he'd been hit with something in the course of being robbed. He handed over his wallet and his watch, then heard the assailant speed off in his car. After the bullet was removed from Shepard's jaw, ballistic and analytic... Fuck. Joe, we're just glad you're getting paid. Thank you. I appreciate you. You guys are all my bosses. All my individual bosses. What's my first job, boss? Right now I'm saluting. You don't see it, but I'm saluting. Yes, sir. And madams. Thank you. May I have another? I need another task. After the bullet was removed from Shepard's jaw, ballistic analysts determined it had been fired from the same weapon that killed Woodward and Pitts. The Turnpike Phantom had struck again. Determined to catch their culprit, law enforcement threw the book at just about anyone who drew suspicion. They tried to pin the murders on recently married couple who had financed their cross-country honeymoon by robbing truckers, but the case fell apart. Then there was the businessman with the .22 caliber automatic in his trunk, but the caliber didn't match the one used in the murders. 3 Florida gangsters were then arrested on suspicion of the killings, but each had an alibi covering the nights in question. Following the arrests. Oh, fuck. Task is to give you a hug. A hug would be very nice right now.
You'd probably fall asleep doing it. Authentic spaghetti. Three Florida gang stars. But shut up.
3 Florida gangsters were then arrested on suspicion of the killings, but each had an alibi covering the nights in question. Following the arrest, several terrified truck drivers reported being followed by a man in a car, but each time the police rushed to the scene, they discovered the man had vanished. However, it's not clear if there really was anyone following the drivers, as it may have been the case that a deep paranoia had set in among the region's truckers. During the month that followed, and despite the many roadblocks set up by various highway patrol units, little progress was made on the case. The Pennsylvania Truck Motor Association even offered today's equivalent of $118,000 in reward money for any information leading to the Phantom's capture, but the bounty failed to generate a single usable lead. It wasn't until early October of 1953 that there was a serious break in the case, and it came in the form of John Shepard's stolen watch showing up in a Cleveland pawn shop. The owner of the shop had been given a detailed description of the item and immediately contacted police when he determined it was the same piece. Luckily, the man who pawned it had been foolish enough to give the shop owner his real name, and it wasn't long before the man was traced to a rooming house in the very same town he'd pawned the watch. When the police arrived at the rooming house and demanded to be shown the room of one John Wesley Wable, they were... Do you think it's Wable or Wobble? Wobble. You do know that yawning is a sympathetic response, right? So for those of us that are not sociopaths, we are getting sleepy. Well, that sounds like a you problem. Is it Wobble? Oh, they don't even have it. I'm going to say Wable. Wable sounds more like a last name. Oh, holy fuck. When the police arrived at the rooming house and demanded to be shown the room of one John Wesley Wable, they were told he had vanished. However, John had left behind with... Wait, what is it? However, John had left behind 22,000... What does this mean? John had left behind with 20... Oh, I see. Wait. John had left behind with 22-year-old girlfriend Leora Chrissy, who told police she had given a very unusual going-away present. Who told police she'd been given a very unusual... Wait. However, John had left behind... Oh, not with, but just... Sorry. It's fucking... I don't know why it confuses me so hard. It's just like one word. However, John had left behind a 22-year-old girlfriend, Leora Chrissy, who told police she'd been given a very unusual going-away present, a .32 caliber revolver. It was the exact same revolver that had been used in the truck ambushes. After doing some research into Wable's background, police discovered he was an unemployed factory worker who had been fired from his job back in March. Despite Wable having no history of violent crime, they were frustrated to learn that he had been arrested on August 6th, mere miles from the scene of Woodward's murder, for failing to return a rental car on time. The cops actually had him in custody until September 23rd, when Wabel's father settled the claim with the car dealer, convincing him to drop the case in the process. Their frustration doubled when they discovered that, while being held in the county jail, Wabel had actually admitted to being the Turnpike Phantom. Yet his confession was dismissed by skeptical jailers who viewed it as nothing but a baseless attempt to gain clout, and he was subsequently set free. October 9th of 1953 saw a nationwide manhunt for Wabel begin. The following day, a New Mexico State patrolman spotted a stolen car near Isleta. Isleta. Oh my god. The following day, a New Mexico State patrolman spotted a stolen car near Isleta, a small town just 10 miles south of Albuquerque. Inside it were 3 men, each wanted in connection with the robbery of an Albuquerque gas station, and one of these men happened to be John Wesley Wabel. With the police in hot pursuit, Wabel and his 2 sidekicks raced off at speeds exceeding 100 miles an hour, crashing through 2 police roadblocks in the process. By the time police caught up with the car, Wabel had fled on foot. A short time later, an off-duty nurse named Carolyn Smith spotted a hitchhiker walking toward a local homeless camp near the Santa Fe railroad track. By that point, Wabel had garnered nationwide notoriety for his crimes, and many were familiar with his physical description. Smith also noted that the man seemed extremely agitated, and, on a hunch, she reported the sighting to local police. Upon his arrest, Wabel insisted that he was completely innocent of the murders. He admitted to being the owner of the murder weapon, but claimed that a friend of his named Jim Parks had borrowed the gun just a week before the killing began. There was no evidence that such a man even existed, but Wabel insisted on sticking to his story throughout his short trial. However, he did end up admitting to being at the scene of John Shepard's shooting, but said it was Parks who had shot the man before stealing his watch. Wabel's father swore that his son was tucked in bed at the time of the murders, but the prosecution's arguments were strong to say the least. Then, after just 4 hours of jury deliberation, their verdict was read before the court. Guilty, they said. First degree, recommended sentence, death penalty. Wabel had been condemned to ride the lightning. On September 26th of 1955, John Wesley Wabel was executed via the electric chair. The man was gone, but his legacy remained. Wabel's terrifying murder spree forever changed the habits of long-haul truckers everywhere, and since then, truck drivers have congregated en masse at crowded, well-lit rest stops in order to get their much-needed sleep. A trucker might not believe in ghosts or spirits, but there's no denying that they're haunted by the frightening memory of John Wesley Wabel. Ride the lightning. Yeah. I wonder what that means. Is that like a trucker saying? Oh. The good news is the sciatic sort of sensation has gone away. So maybe it was just a period of time. You know, like sometimes you do stretches or like get a massage or some shit like that, and then eventually whatever issue you had in that area starts to dissipate over time. I think that's what happened. Like it started to settle down. He shot lightning bolts out of his buns. That's fucking sick, dude. Oh, wow. Oh, because of the electric chair. Oh my fucking god. That's both funny but also a little rude. I'm so proud of you. You're doing great, sweetie. Okay. I think that was it. I think that was the last story of... Okay. Mama. Wayne Adam 4. Dark. Green. Bear. White. Robin. The Roadkill one. Yeah, dude, that Roadkill one was fucking weird, though. Glad I feel better. Thank you, yeah. Ugh. Ride the Lightning is, yeah, definitely by Electric Chair. I thought it was like a trucker thing at first, but, you know, I guess it kind of is like ties in with that a little bit with the driving truck. And see, that would be kind of a cool, like, do people name their trucks kind of like they name their ships? My truck would be called the fucking Lightning. But specifically that, I would say the fucking Lightning. And you would ride it. You would ride it into the sunset as I deliver my goods to Walmart. I've never seen... What? Oh. The moratorium is the stay off execution or any... What? Is the stay off execution or any kind of stay off. Really? So they're just like not doing executions anymore. I wonder what the idea behind that is. H.P. Lovecraft used creatures that rode the midnight lightning in the story Lurking Fear. Oh, interesting. How many stories do you know tonight? Well, we did 10, and it's about 3.5 hours into the stream. So we've actually arrived at the end of the spooky stories with 730 people here, so thanks for being here. I will now read my outro script, but I need your help. But Let's Read needs your help. He needs the 3-digit code. No, I'm just kidding. I need you guys to think of something funny for me to say. I love you, son. Back in the day, if you pumped your arm up and down a trucker saw it, they'd blow their horn. Yeah, I think they still do. They're probably like a trucker's just like zoning out and then like sees a kid pumping his arm. He'd be like, fuck yeah! Yeah! I've been waiting. And remember, why do cows be so jacked? I'll probably say that, actually. That's pretty good. Ride the lightning, fuckers. Do I watch Nick Avocado? You know, I've seen him here and there with different stuff, and if I do watch his videos, they're only for like, I don't know, like 15 seconds, but I have seen him. I don't watch him like as a content consumption, but I've almost feel like I've seen more stuff about like drama. I seen he had some drama with like Ethan Klein or something. Like, can Ethan Klein just leave people alone? Like, I get it. That's part of his brand now, is just like to start stuff with stuff. But eventually you got to think to yourself, like, people who start drama with each other, they're either in on it with one another, they're exploiting it, or there's like some serious like psychological issue in their mind where they're like need to create conflict at all turns of life. Like, that can't be mentally good for you to constantly just be under duress of angry tweet. You know what I mean? Even though most of the time it's like when they meet in person for their podcast, they seem to be in relatively good standing with one another. But that just goes to like further enhance the fact that most of the drama that you see online and shit is just like one big stupid fucking joke. Because then people meet in person and they're like, yo, what's up, bro? Oh, bro, we really said a lot of mean stuff back in the day. Do you remember that? It sure did generate a lot of clicks. You missed the whole stream, goats. What the heck happened? Yeah, honestly, my suggestion for people who missed the notifications or anything, just follow me on Twitter at Let's Read Creepy. I start endless drama there. No, I'm just kidding. Pretty much zero drama at all times. Just because it's too stressful. It makes my, like, drama makes my heart drop. I don't know, what is that feeling when your heart drops? Lilith, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. But anyways, yeah, follow me on Twitter at Let's Read Creepy, and then click the notification bell on Twitter, and so that at the approximate times that I normally stream, which is in the evenings on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, you can get excited that that notification that you're getting is me going live, baby. You didn't get a notification? Well, like I said, follow me on social media and you will be... I mean, Instagram, you can follow me just in general for updates when new videos come out, but Twitter's the one that I usually update for streams because it's just easier to do, because you can actually share links and stuff conveniently on Twitter. Twizotter.
Oh wait, what was I gonna say? Why do cows be so jacked? Yeah, something like that.
Hey friends, thanks for listening. Click that notification bell to be alerted of all future narrations. I release every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you got a story, be sure to submit them to my subreddit, r/Let'sReadOfficial, and even hear your story featured on the next video. And if you want to support me even more, grab early access to all future narrations and bonus content over on Patreon, or click that big join button to hear about the extra perks offered for the channel. And check out the Let's Read podcast, where you can hear all of these stories in big compilations and save huge on data, located anywhere you listen to podcasts. All links in the description below. Thanks so much, friends, and remember,
Why do cows be so jacked? Yeah, that's it.
Thanks so much, friends, and remember, why do cows be so jacked?
And hopefully someone will look that up at the end of this video, and they'll be like, oh my god, it's because of like weird bacteria that turns shit into other shit. Isn't data unlimited? No, people, you can get an unlimited plan, but a lot of people's data is not unlimited. And remember, who up playing with they worm? Do you save these? Yeah, so I'm like streaming into one mic, but I have another mic that I'm recording into, so I'll go ahead and edit them and turn them into a full-on edited video, so it's, you know, not constantly interrupted by me. But thank you guys so much for everything. As always appreciate you. You know, this will be edited up on Patreon, only $1 a month over there. It's early access. You can become a member or a $5 tier on Patreon to get bonus content once a month, full-length videos. But, you know, SJ Curtis with the Tuesdays. Do you like comics? I like the idea of comics, and I have a few mangas and comics and stuff like that, but I just don't consume them how I used to when I was younger. And I don't even really think I looked at or was really too into them too much when I was younger. I mean, I liked them. I liked the concept of like drawings and books and stuff, but with like cool stories. But yeah, I'm not really as much into them as I think I would like to be in a nerdy sense, you know. But anyways, everybody's typing daddy in the chat. All right, daddy. Am I on Sunday? Yeah, I'll be back Sunday. Wait, no, I won't be back Sunday, because Sunday going into Monday, so Monday's video is a compilation video, like for the podcast, those big sleep videos, which you guys will have to help me think of a title for the next one. Videos to make you scream, or stories to make you blush. But yeah, there won't be a stream Sunday, sadly. Maybe, I don't know, but there definitely will be one Tuesday. But as always, new video tonight, Friday, 7 p.m. EST. New video Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know, just into infinity. I'm never dying. I'm never dying. You hear that? I'm never dying. And I'm making YouTube videos forever. I'll never die. Okay, I told him. He's in the other room. But, yeah, so I'm never dying. I'm making YouTube videos forever. And it's going to be fucking cool. So stick around. They're going to be awesome. But good night, my friends. Take care of yourselves. Don't do bad stuff. And buy candles if you can. They smell really good. All right. Bye-bye.